Hello, everyone. Today, I'm going to be very happy to bring you another video and topic of Windows Subsystem for Linux. And this one is going to be on Fedora distribution. Last video that I mentioned, I talked about Fedora as well as Rocky, as well as Linux distribution, but in particular, I discussed Linux Ubuntu in details and also the Oracle VM. So I'm going to discuss today Fedora distribution, which is one of the distribution that is greatly appreciated by all developers, students, researchers, and you name it. Everybody that is working on Linux platform, they appreciate Fedora distribution. I'm going to be very happy to provide you this Windows subsystem, which is an integration of a Windows operating system with Linux together and different flavor or different distribution of Linux is now integrated with Windows subsystem. So you have the host operating system as Windows, which is Windows 10 or Windows 11, and then you could have a guest virtual machine as Fedora, Linux Red Hat, Linux Rocky, Linux, let's say Ubuntu. Ubuntu is by default. So a lot of them are there, and I will show you the list is a lot. And luckily, this week, there was an article posted on the internet that Red Hat Enterprise Linux is a very good operating system. It is also going to be, it's announced actually that it's going to be released under Windows Subsystem Linux. So it is integrated. Officially, it will be released maybe sometimes early January. The target zip file, when it is available, I will just install it and I'll show you in the video. So today, the topic I'm discussing Fedora distribution, as you can see here, and it's going to be a full course. So I'll show you everything that you need to know about Windows subsystem of Linux, as well as everything that you need to know on Fedora distribution. So the easy installation is just basically as if you're doing it by default, which in this case is not the case, you would just type in wsl.exec --install and then give the option of Fedora, because this one by default will install Linux Ubuntu. And then you can see from my last copy, so I could just make update on this one. And then let me just make the update here. So if you're just doing the default installation, like on the last video I showed you, you just type in wsl.exec --install. And by default, it installs Ubuntu distribution, Ubuntu Linux, and the version was 22.04 or 24.04 actually. So at this time, I'm going to show you the different one, which is Fedora distribution. So in order to install Fedora or Linux Oracle or Linux Red Hat or Rocky or any other distribution, you have to type in WSL-L-O. O is saying that what is available online. So once you get the list, which I'm going to show you how to do that one, then you know that if the distribution that you're trying to install, it's already part of the subsystem, it's integrated, then you can install wsl-install and the distribution name. You might also want to go with the options of what are the syntax. I will show you that one as well. And so once you do that one, then you can just name the distribution. And basically, if you're doing it from terminal, you have to open up a PowerShell terminal as administrator first. And you just right click on the PowerShell icon, just say run it as administrator. And then once it starts, the prompt could have any path. You just, for short, I type in PowerShell prompt. and then you just type in wsl.exec or just short, just WSL, because the executable files are by default found on the path of PowerShell, and then it's going to just run it. This wsl.exec is an executable file in Windows System 32 of PowerShell. So when you do wsl.exec or just WSL itself, and then it will require some argument. In case of and dash dash install, you have to be administrator in order to install it on the system. But regularly, if you open a Windows command prompt even, or a regular PowerShell prompt without administrator, you can run the WSL commands. However, if you need like some privilege to install or update or remove something or uninstall it or unregister it, then you need the administrative privilege. So I'm gonna go move to the next one, and this is going to be a full course, and then it's going to be brought to you by my channel, which is at MyWebUniversity on YouTube. You're welcome to subscribe and register. I mean, subscription is free, so you just need to subscribe and watch the videos and make some comments. If you like my previous video, I'm seeing a lot of people are showing interest on that video already. In the past 3 days, we're getting people making comments and watching it as well. So that's why I'm bringing you this third video on Fedora. And then the next video, maybe I'm going to do Red Hat Linux enterprise version on Windows Subsystem, or maybe I do another one. So there's a lot of them. I'll show you which one I will cover as I do the list. So today we're discussing Fedora distribution, and I'm going to also show you the post installation. So stay tuned, and then you will learn a lot from it. And then earlier I was telling you that Windows Subsystem has like command lines, and notice here I say, just show me Windows Subsystem dash help for dash dash help to see, get a list of the commands. And then as you can see here for the dash dash install option, and the option is distro option. If this is optional, so if you just say Windows Subsystem .exec or Windows Subsystem dash dash install, it's gonna do install Ubuntu for you. And then if you just say the distribution name like Red Hat or let's say Fedora or Debian or any other ones, Oracle VM or something, then you have to type in that name. And then the options or distribution name by options. And here the options are explained. If you say dash dash no launch, it does not launch the software after installation. It does not bring it up. If you want to do it from the web development, download, you could do that one instead of using Microsoft Store. And then you have the option to do it. And sometimes they have the tar .zip files that you could download the tarball or the ISO image, and then you could do that dash dash import or export, importing it into the system. And then obviously, if you want to export your subshell to another machine, then you can do export. Enable WSL option, all these are our options. So these are a list of things they can do with the Windows Subsystem. I'll cover a lot of them. And then basically, if I just open a right click on it, before I do that one, let me just introduce you to my YouTube channel, which is, if you haven't subscribed already, and this is my website, mywebuniversity.com, which I have both the English version of my YouTube channel as well as the 4C version. So if you click on this one, it will take you to about 1,500 videos and that are online on computer science related topics, including the Windows operating system, Linux operating system, programming languages such as Python, C, C++, Bash scripting, object-oriented programming, functional programming, R language programming. There's a lot awkward, and then there's a lot of stuff, MySQL database stuff, and then so you are welcome to just look at these videos. This was the Windows Subsystem on Linux Ubuntu that already people are showing interest. And earlier I mentioned about Windows Subsystem by itself as installing a number of Linux stuff. This video was about 3 hours, 3 hours something, 3 hours 30 minutes, and was posted 3 days ago. But people are watching it and making comments. I'm appreciating that one. And then just make sure that if you're interested on this one, now I see people are interested, and I'll just make another video on Fedora distribution, and then maybe on Red Hat. So a lot of distribution I have worked on and them for more than 30 years of my life, not just Linux, but software engineering, computer science, programming, and everything. And then the majority of my programming, and then it's on Linux and Solaris operating system and Unix and Windows. So I have a lot of experience on these things that I can bring up to you and help you out so you can do good at your school, at your work, and share this knowledge to your friend ones, to loved ones, colleagues, anyone that you want to just share. It will help you and help them. And then by sharing, you show that you care. And then you are going to inspire them, and then someday they will appreciate you and they pass on the knowledge to somebody else. So there's thousands of documentation as well as technical stuff on this side, as well as on my website on the book that I wrote, an online book here, The Direct Path to Linux Ubuntu. This is about 14 chapters. I'm discussing Red Hat Enterprise PDF files documentation, and then Rocky, which are both a Fedora distribution, and then also Linux Ubuntu, which is Debian distribution, and then there's a lot of other ones. So Bash scripting, and there are some like Ubuntu manual pages on PowerShell, and there's one channel here with video that you could see integration, and I'm showing you PowerShell, everything that you need. And then this is also in for C, the same thing that I'm doing for my fellow countrymen, because I was born in Kabul, Afghanistan, until I was 18 years old. And then when I left Kabul, I went to Pakistan as a refugee for 2.5 years, and then I went to New York, and then from New York, studied computer science at City College of New York. Then I transferred after a second year, and then I came to California. I started my sophomore year at Cal State Fullerton, finished my Bachelor of Science, and then after I finished my Bachelor of Science, I studied my Master of Science in Computer Science, and start working for many companies, prestige companies, and then I'm very happy to provide you these things that now I have learned it, and will help you out for your environment. I have taught courses at the college in university level in the US, so I know my materials, and I want to just share it, and then I will help you out. I hope you also show your interest and just watch the video and subscribe and share it with your loved ones, so that way we all could benefit from it. The one that I'm covering today is, as you see on the PowerPoint, is Fedora distribution. So I'm going to just open a terminal here. And then when you look at the terminal here, currently I have a Windows operating system as my host operating system. So if I just type in here on the start menu, say about this PC, you can see it is a Windows operating system. And then by looking at that one, Windows 11 Professional, and this is the version and all the build and everything, the memory, and then the processor, all that information is here. As well as you can say by clicking on the window keyboard button, there's a keyboard kind of button that you could press and type in WinVer, This will also tells you that you have Windows 11 operating system. There's a certain particular version of Windows 10 that support Windows subsystem, but all Windows 11 subsystem supports it. So if you're on an older version of Windows operating system as Windows 10, make sure that you build this the latest that Windows subsystem requires. And I showed it on the previous documentation. By knowing just Windows command when you run it, and then I'll show you here. If I just open a run as administrator here, basically, if you just are typing WSL here, WSL, and then by itself without any argument, it will just already drop into WSL, that version that is running. So if you type in WSL by itself without any argument, you can see that the only version that I have installed is Fedora. So this is already installed. I'm going to also on another machine install Windows subsystem of Fedora on another machine, so I can show you how to do it. But I will also show you some of these Windows subsystem commands, like -L is equivalent to -- list. So let me just take the zoom out of my view here. And so right here, when you type in WSL -list, it is like you're saying that go ahead run the WSL -L. This is a short form. This is a long form. So if you say, let me just change my default prompt shell to a smaller one, and so I don't have too much. And then here you say WSL -L. This will just give you the list of what is currently installed on here. And if I say WSL -list, that's equivalent to running that one. If I want to see what is available, I could say -L-O. O mean online. So this is similar to the syntax of saying the WSL -list -online. -list is equivalent to -L, and -online is equivalent to -O. So the short form is -L-O. The long form is WSL. If I type in the long form, which is WSL -list -online, and then I get the same thing out of that one because this argument is the longer form. So it's your choice which one you want to see it. As you can see, the list of distribution is Ubuntu is by default, Debian, and then there's a lot of version of Ubuntu here available. The latest one was -24, which I installed it last time. I also installed the Oracle Linux 9_1, that one, and then we apply the upgrade or update. On the case of Ubuntu, we did update and I think update as well as upgrade, and then you could get maybe on Oracle Linux 9, you get 9.4 when you update and upgrade it. And then I believe on the other systems I had installed OpenSUSE and then a lot of other ones. So you're welcome to just install Kali Linux or Debian or Ubuntu. And then if some distribution like Fedora doesn't show here, you might have it on the Microsoft Store. That's how you can see if it is available as an app. You can install it or you could just get it from the web. So if you know that it is supported, it should come up. Like I just did that one here, WSL-L, you can see the default one is there. So WSL-L -running also shows you what is running. So what is running, there are no running application at this time. But if I just say, why don't I just go to the default one, WSL by itself, I could just type in with no argument, it will drop me to Fedora distribution. So cat -n etc os-release, it will tell you that it's Fedora distribution. And if I just clear my screen here, say CD here, go to my home directory here, ID-un, show me who I am, and then host name, I could see this algorithm, and then cut ATC. This is Fedora, I could say OS-release, and then maybe grep -I Fedora. So see how many strings are matching the word Fedora. You can see they're all highlighted in red. At the same time, if I just say, let's see, for this one, clear screen, ls -l detcos-release, that file is symbolic link to this /user libs OS release. That's okay. You could do it, or you could say, just give me a stat on this one. That's a symbolic link. So if I do a stat, it just says the permission, the directory, everything. But this is showing that it's a file, is a symbolic link because of this L. So that is a pointer to the actual file, that is a physical file on the user bin. So the path to that one, you have to say etc actually /user/lib/os-release. Because when you say dot dot, meaning that go one to the parent directory of this one, which is, this is a file, the parent directory of this one, so it goes in there. Now that is the file that is actually physical. So if I say file and then $bank, sorry, the file $bank that would I have to first do my command that was there right here, and then file $bank, it will run the same command saying that this is an ASCII file, and then knowing that that's an ASCII file, so whether you cat -n etc/os-release, which is symbolic link to that file, let's look at that file again. And right here, we were looking at it. And if you just say that is an ASCII text file, let's just look at the head of that one, head -1. So you can see it is not file. Actually, we have to do a cat. Rather than cat and then head it, we say head -5, let's say. If you want to see the 5 lines of that file, you could just say, show me the first 5 lines. You could get it like that also. And then if you say, what about the OS-release? So you can see, because it's symbolic link, OS-release is the same thing. So disregard to what you're doing it on Linux. There's so many commands you can do everything that you want to do. So if I just say uname -a, this one is showing me this list of commands. Uname -n for node name is algorithm. Uname -os version is GNU Linux. Uname -revision, the built version. Uname system kernel. System -- kernel could also give you this kernel name, or uname -s for that short. If you need anything like that, you could just say uname -help. It will give you all of the options. Obviously, uname -a was the one that I just earlier typed in, and I got all the information that I needed. So at this time, I'm going to show you a number of things. So we know that we are on Fedora distribution. And then what about the version? So we could say cat -1 etc OS-release, and then grep -I version. So the version you can see is ID is 40. Fedora distribution image container is 40. And then what about distribution? Distribution is not showing, but it is, since it's Fedora, that's the distribution here. And then name is Fedora distribution here, and then logo and the other ones, right? And then if you're doing it for other platform, you will get other output as a result. So what is the package manager for Fedora? The package manager is yum, as well as yum is symbolic link to DNF-3. DNF-3, so if I say which yum, This is a symbolic link to user bin yum, symbolic link to the DNF-3, and DNF is also a symbolic link to DNF-3, and DNF-3 is actually physical file. You can see right here, if I say and those two are a symbolic link, DNF and yum, but DNF-3 is a physical file. So if I say file/user bin DNF-3, you can see that is a Python script. Well, when I say it's executable, actually it is a Python script in about 62 lines. So if I say word count -L, and then bang this bang $sign saying that just whatever was my argument to the last command, $bang would be pointing to that as argument. So now I type in file and then or word count -L, and it gives me 62 lines. And similarly, if I say cat -n bang $sign, because that file is there, I don't have to type in user bin DNF-3. And you can see that it is making a lot of sys and path and modules that are Python related modules, import sys module, and then it is using those ones. I have a lot of Python videos there, and I will make more, and then you're welcome to watch and like it and subscribe it, so you'll learn a lot from it and programming as well. So here, if I just clear my screen, say, okay, now I know that yum and DNF are there. Whether I type yum repo list, and then notice that I'm just a regular user, I can still query some commands. But if I want to install something like yum install vim or yum install get or something, then I have to have root privilege. So DNF repo list will just give me the same thing. DNF-3 repo list are going to repo list. So it will, all of them are giving you the same. Remember which yum, that one was file user bin yum. Yum was pointing to DNF-3. Similarly, DNF was pointing to DNF-3, and DNF-3 was a Python script. So if I just, no matter which one, I just use this command, yum repo list, it will give me these packages, yum, I'm sorry, not yum, DNF repo list will give me the same list, or DNF-3, DNF-3 repo list. So, and instead of just memorizing all of them, all you have to do is memorize one command, DNF, and then yum eventually is going to be end of life. I mean, they are not going to just have this symbolic link forever, because DNF, once you start learning it for compatibility, they provide these ones, but at some point they're not going to do that one. So if I do that repo list correctly there, it will just show that one as well. So now we know that the repository is there. So if I say yum list here, I'll get a list of all the packages are there. But some of the packages that are in the yum cache that are showing what is available on the yum repository, it might just be like a little bit different than DNF-3, even though they're pointing. Let's see if that is the case. It might not be, but let's figure out. So if I do this one and then 79,600, it doesn't look like it is different, right? Because they're the same binary. Why would they be different? And then similarly, DNF-3. But RPM, Red Hat Package Manager, is a different file system. So if I say which RPM, Red Hat Package Manager, that one RPM -QA, show me all the RPMs, it will list it for you. So if I say query and then do a word count minus L, it is there. So if I just say RPM minus QA, and then let's say grep minus I open SSH. See if the package are having open SSH. And notice that the open SSH, all of them work with this. I can also do like dash server just to show only that package, right? That package, if I just want to do, want to get a list of them, saying that this could be an argument to another RPM command. You could say RPM minus QL, and then backtick this longer command as an input to your first command, which is RPM-QL. So this will just give you a list of them. And if you say, what about grep bin directory, then you see that SSHD is the daemon there. So then you can say, oh, SSH daemon, so is it running here on the system? PS minus EF grep minus ISHD, then it's not running. So let's just make it run. Why do you need SSHD? The secure shell and daemon allow you authentication from a remote site to this machine, or scopy is also running on port 22. So if I say grep minus I SSH etc services, sorry. So etc services, you can see a number of them. But if I, instead of minus I say minus W, so it matches that word, it is shorter. And then this way I can see that this list, SSHD 22, is the secure port connecting to TCP. And then there might be also for scopy. So if I just say instead of grep this, I could say egrep W, and then whether it is SSH or scopy, show me all the match. So now scopy is also using those ports, and then you can see scopy is using this port to connect to it, and then but once you're running SSH, so which scopy, which SSH, which SSHD. So SSHD is the server side and SSH is the client side. And then scopy is all secure copy. And then you might have also secure FTP. And then if you do, the client side, there's a daemons. If you install the daemons, obviously you get a secure FTPD. But whether you have it or not, you could just see when I did the SSH, open SSH or PM minus QA, you could also say star here, open SSH star, and then you get the list. And if you want only server, dash server, only that one, that's a shorter form rather than doing a query here. You can also do a while read here, while read a var or PKG, package name, and then say do, and say echo checking on PKG, $ PKG now. So within this while read var, you can do all kind of interactive scripting, like ls minus l, like not ls minus l echo $ PKG, and then say let's get also the list of them and say, for example, if we say RPM minus QL, and then $ and then PKG, and then grep minus I bin. So that is a shorter version, and you can see that package says checking on that one, and then at the same time run open SSH command, and then also found out that binary. So now if you say man SSHD, you will see the manual pages that is going to tell you what is SSHD and all the detail. If you say man SSH, there are manual pages for SSH. And then these are section 1. So man minus S1 SSH would give you the same thing. If there are section 3, then you have to define by default like man scanf, for example, you can see man f scanf. Sorry, a man. Maybe because of the header files are not there. Printf is no manual pages, so sprintf man sprintf sprintf is not there. But all of these ones, if I say man mount, it shows because that's part of the operating system. But the section 3, all of these sections that are not coming is because the GCC compiler has to be installed here. So which a GCC, it says that it's not there. No GCC you can see here. In order to install it, you can say, let's use DNF in this case, or YAM. I'm going to use DNF. So in order to do DNF, I'm going to say which GCC, I'm going to have to become root first, sudo su dash, and then I type in my password, and then clear my screen. Now I'm as root, right? ID, you can see here, I'm root, and then which GCC is not there. So I'm going to say DNF install GCC. That will install GCC, and then I could just get all the header files, manual pages for sprintf or printf or scanf, all of those ones that were not there. Now it's available after installing this. So let's get clear screen which GCC now. GCC dash version, you can see it is installed with GCC 14.2. And then if I just say, and now a man printf, that is not is still showing. So I'm going to say man scanf. It is not there. So let's just install also the. And so under user share man, these are the list of all the manual pages that are already installed. If you don't have the application and the man pages for it, so under section man .3, like .1, let's see man, so man 3x and then man 1. So man 3 would be the one that I'm looking at. So user share man 3, sorry, man and then man 3. Man 3, that's the format. You can see a list of the commands that are under section 3 that are already there. Most likely, if I just look at the tar.gunzip file in manual pages, that one is not having anything with scanf yet. So this one, it doesn't return anything with the scan or scanf or something. So let's do which G++. That is the C++ compiler. It is not there, so I'm going to say DNF install G++. And then I say, yes, go ahead and install. So notice that the libraries are getting installed here, as well as the version of compilers which we ask for. So, sorry, G++, and then you say clear screen. If I just do which G++, now we install it. So if I say DNF list G++, it shows that that package last Monday did okay. So sorry, I'm going to just update the operating system to make sure that latest ones are there. So let's do this. Say after we install G++ dash version, it shows up that it's there, but man scanf is still not showing. Man printf is still not showing. So I'm gonna do DNF update, and that would do the update dash y for update. So all the packages that are getting updated with DNF, you need to update your system regularly, so your system is not, missing any latest and greatest packages that should be on the system. Because once you install the Fedora, by default, this might be from an image that was done a few months to a few years ago. So you have to do DNF update in order to do that one. So when you do cat minus -n etc os dash release, and then you can see this is still Fedora 40, but I'm gonna also do a DNF dash dash upgrade dash y, not dash dash, I'm sorry, DNF upgrade dash y. So let me just clear my screen here. Clear, and then say, on one command, you could do both of them. So say DNF update dash y and DNF upgrade dash y. So this is doing the update first and then followed by the upgrade. Since the system is already into Linux Fedora 40, then it's not going to just, it's done already. I did the DNF update just a few minutes ago. So if I say grep minus I DNF Fedora on etcos dash release, you see it's Fedora 40 is there. And then if I just want only Fedora colon 40, the version, I could do that one, and then it will pick up the line that I have there. And then if I just don't do this, I could do grep 40 and everywhere that the number 40, because you don't need -i when you're looking for numbers. There's no case sensitivity. So you could search it there. But if you want it with the line number, saying that what is the line number that matches that one, you could say -n, and it will just give you line number that are there. Like line 2 has the version number, and then line 4 version ID number, so on. So let's get that one, and then we were doing the DNF. Now we have updated it. Let's see, man minus S3 is scanf. So man scanf is not coming. So those header files or on the user include, and then notice that all the header files are there and everything. So on another system, you could just do the header files. You could just go up here and say google.com and say Fedora scan f manual pages, manual pages for missing pages not working. So not working or missing doesn't matter. Weird issue with the manual pages on Fedora discussion. So there's already other people saw that one. Why it's not working? There's a package most likely, like I did the glibc, and then there's some other packages on usually on Linux, Ubuntu, and Red Hat, and other ones. When you install the GCC compiler, it comes out with it. But apparently this one is not there. Sometimes you have to symbolic link on them and then point to the package that are there. And you can just look here, not working as expected, duplicate. Issue with the scanf, accepting, okay, this is commands that are having problem. And then here, the one that we're saying, and an interface, let's see. Okay, great news. So I just looked up on the internet, and under superuser.com, actually, there's a document for Fedora when you're missing the libstd C++ dash docs, and then with the manual pages of that package, you could install it. And then if I just go back to my screen here and say those commands, it's not finding it. So I'm going to say DNF dash install, and then the name of the package was man dash pages, and then the name of the libraries. Sometimes it's hard to just know all the libraries by heart. So if you see std standard C++ dash docs, that is the one that we want to do. Let the standard C++ dash docs. Let's see if that package is actually man pages. Let me just make sure that I don't have a typo. Man pages. I'm going to just cut and paste this one to see if that was mistyped or not. Usually I don't undo cut and paste, but in this case, because I don't know the name of it, and to verify it, you just have to make sure that that's the case. And so, like right here, yum install, oh, dash, that I should have not done the dash, so that was the problem. So let me just do clear screen here. So if I say man scan, if it's not there, man printf is not there, man is printf, and all of these are there, not there. So if I just do the yum, or instead of yum, I could do DNF. This package, that man pages that is there, you just could say, okay, go ahead and install this man pages, and also let standard C++ docs. And standard C++ should give everything with C++ as well as other ones. So now if I just do man is printf, it's there, man minus s section printf of section 3, that I have to do section 3. If I don't do section 3, it's not giving me the standard IO include ones. So by default, this one is section 1 if you don't give the section name. And section 1 of them is this. And you can see it's printf section 1. That's the actual printf command on Linux. So if I try section 1, I could do that one, or just type it without any argument. It will default it. But if now I want a section 3, then I have to specify it, that say, give me section 3, which is the C standard libraries. So all of the ones that were not showing up previously, now they're showing. So how do I know that actually where the printf targets a file in the man pages format over there? It's under user share man 3. And then this one has a lot of them. So let's see if we do a grep for, let's say, printf. It is a lot of them you can see here. And sprintf, if you just do the like sprintf, you can see that one. And that's why when we do sprintf, it's going to come up this one. So whether you type in, sorry, since there's no two commands on sprintf section 1, and then if I just do this one on section 1, there's nothing on a printf statement. Now, the only one that is there is section 1 of printf statement, but there's nothing on the printf statement. So if I just say man is printf, by default is going to just open this manual page for me, and it's gonna just give me output of that one on the screen, which is section 3. That's why. So whether you type in that one or you just say minus S3, and that would format also recognize it. Whether you put a space here or just not a space, they're all the same, right? So you could do that one, and then you can also say man minus keyword as printf and see if there's anything that is matching with that one. And then if I say, let's do a grep command, and then you can see that man minus key is not thing appropriate. That is not good. Man minus man itself, you will get it there. So minus k, and then a propose, and then a regular expression. So you could do a regular expression that matches with those ones also. And then since I did a no regular expression, I did the actual string, it did not find something. We could just look for a regular expression for it. So quit out of this one, man minus k, let's say, what was it? Printf, and so that's a valid pending regular expression. So the regular expression is different format. Like for example, if I just say I'm here, let's do a less minus L, and then slash home. Let's go on the home. I know that there's a file, at least Wahid. So I could say ls minus L w star. That's one regular expression. And say ls minus L grep minus I Wahid. That is another regular expression. You could say also find out on this one any string that is matching certain characters like grep minus I A to Z followed by something that is there. And maybe it's either 4096 if I just look at 4 itself and then asterisk here that is going to match 4 followed by anything. And then if I just want to say 0 through 4, all those digits 0-4, that's a regular expression also that's going to match those numbers. You can see there's watch my other videos, other Python or C and or maybe Python, or maybe on the Linux itself. I have covered a regular expression modules as well as regular expression on command line with awk and other stuff. So you could do that one. And then let's go to back to that. Since we have installed it and we know that those manual pages are there, I could also go to user share man and then cd2 man.man3 and then look at all of the Ganze files. So we were looking at the scanf, and then you can see a scanf is there's section 3.scanf. So ls scanf.3.ganzip. If I say file scanf.3.ganzip, you can see that it's a ganzip compressed data. So, but how does the manual pages is using is nroff and droff, and there's a lot of things on the manual pages. Look at this one file, let's say minus s, and then you don't have to do a minus s. As long as you do this one, it will know because of this format and because of this Gantt format. It says it's a manual page of section 3. It will open it for you and then you read it. But then notice that this is on a Windows Subsystem of Fedora, and you're getting it on this system. Yet I provide you this kind of information on my website for free on using a Python program that I wrote, and I generated for Red Hat Rocky, for Rocky Linux, and for Red Hat, and for Linux Ubuntu. So if you're interested in Red Hat, for example, you're welcome to come in here and just start looking at PDF files. Whichever one is going to be typing, like Control F, scanf, you just type in scanf and section 3 will happen. And then I provide you the same thing on PDF format. And then if sometimes you are saying that that's not enough, I want to see if there's any additional documentation, just do Control F, search for HTTPS, and then look at kernel.org website, manual pages, all of those documentations are there. And then if you're just going to this README file or for the Git, for other ones, there's plenty of information that you could do. Control F, HTTPS. So this is one of them, and there's only one in this documentation. But then if you look for Control F, let's say Python, Python is there, then I give you the Python manual pages. At the same time, you say Control F, and then can I go to python.org? Yeah, python.org here, and then you just click on it, and now you're in python.org. And if you click on the documentation, there's hundreds of thousands of documentation, tutorials, API calls, all of this. Each one of them you click on, you get to see the source code. And then learn it and practice it and online and everything. So there's so much resources just coming in, visiting my website I provide you. And if you want it on the Red Hat Rocky, you could just go on this page. There's about 11,000 PDF files, and each one of them take you to Rocky PDF files there. I wrote the Python program to generate these manual pages in a very nice PDF format, and I put it in a table so I could help you guys. You don't have to buy books. I never bought books starting on my maybe sophomore year. I always go to the library. I couldn't afford it. Went to the library and started reading multiple books, and that's how I learned the system very well. But now I don't buy it. I just go on the internet and just look at these ones and then go there. For example, if I need to know, let's say on the dynamic generation, if I need to know anything about bash scripting, I could just type in bash here, and this bash.pdf file is there. And then if I just say, well, this is not enough, it's only 87 pages, let me just see on bash what else I can get. I can do Control F here, HTTP, and code reusability. So a lot of this opengroup.org and then a lot of the other ones, there are 3 of them, you can just go on those URL and then start learning. And so each one of them that you click on, it will take you to that website, pops.opengroup.org, and then start reading their documents. And it's all Linux and Bash scripting, right? So if you're saying that, well, how about something like a programming language like Node.js? So if I search for Node, or Node is, I search for it, let's see if I just click on this node.pdf, I get the information here. And then node.js.org is already there. So you could just go on there and then search for docs and then start reading any of the documents. Whether it's you're reading C++ standard libraries, or crypto for encryption and cybersecurity stuff, DNS for domain name services, all the modules are there. Domain, and then errors, HTTP hypertext transfer protocol, HTTPS hypertext transfer protocol secure, and then OS module, net module, path, and all of that one. You just click on it and just look at the modules that are there, the method that are there, the argument to the method that are there. So you can learn a lot of it, SQLite, and then so on. Databases, MySQL, and all of that. So again, this option that you have, you say npx, your option that you type in here and get some information is unlimited, right? So if you just say, what about GCC? Can I get the GCC documentation? Yes. Here's the PDF file. So instead of buying a C or C++ book, you just get this documentation. It's about 399 of them pages, and that is all the for statement, function calls, looping, everything. You don't need to buy books. Everything is at the fingertips. You just click on a button and read it online for free. And then everything is by open source, is available, and I made it available on my site. I pay for this website, I program it, and I made it in a nice format. It's your turn to just start learning and share it with your friends and loved ones, and then enjoy your life and then help others. We all could inspire other people by doing this kind of stuff. So if you're looking on the GCC, once you are here, you can also say, what about Open ACC? Is there any documentation or anything? Notice that 12 are there. So everything that is Open ACC, it finds it, but I want to go to the URL. So HTTPS, no, 1 second, I'm sorry. So right here, you can see gcc.org is one URL, and then OpenACC might be another one, like openacc.org. Here you can go to OpenACC And then this side is actually very cool for supercomputing and high performance computing, running multiple nodes and multiple compute nodes in parallel, and then so you can execute Fortran program and Python code, and then these pragma, which are kind of like instruction to the compiler. In this case, is going to say this directive. It's just telling the directive how to loop the system in multiple ways that could run this kind of code in parallel. So the computation and performance tuning is really, really efficient, and getting taking care of multiple GPUs, multiple or thousands of them. And so on supercomputing environment, when you're talking about these Llama or maybe large language model with machine learning, they are all kind of like want to use the power of NVIDIA GPUs and all of these other ones. So make sure that if you're looking for documentation, these things, just watch my videos. I provide you a lot of tools and resources that you might not know that it's out there, and then you don't have to buy books. You could just get everything for free. And if you're just interested to learn videos, like for example, on the chapter 2, 3, 4, I just teach you the whole Linux Ubuntu by you coming in on chapter 2, learn basic, chapter 3, intermediate, chapter 4, advanced, chapter 5, shell scripting, and so on. So let's say on chapter 4, if you're an advanced person, you come in chapter 4, and I have like this many commands, about 88 commands, which each command I show you the what is the command, some examples with it, or the manual pages as well. At the same time, on each one of these commands that you click, if the command is something like that requires root privilege or system admin privilege, then I will just give you documentation. So you could just go and research it and read it and practice it. But if the command is something like maybe I could run it on my cloud, on my WebUniversity Linux server, then I provide you what is the PS3, display a tree of a process, and then you can just say, well, my default shell was a Bourne shell, and then the command that I executed is PS3. And if this one is run PS3 on $1, which is systemd, then you get the systemd and all the sub processes as tree kind of a structure with all the process number and then the thread name and all that detail that it's there. If you're saying that, well, can I get the manual pages? Yes, you're welcome to just click on here and just come in on manual pages for PS3. But if you say, how about scanf? You're showing me on the PDF file. Yeah, you can type in here and do that one. How about this printf? Anything that you type in here, I give you the manual pages for it. So the fact that you want to just run it here or just watch it, for each of these rows, I have made a YouTube video for you to explain these commands with examples. So like, for example, the G core or PM, all of that one, you would want to watch this video number 4, part 8 of 8 for each row. This is row 8. So, and this would be part 8 of 8 covering this one. This would be chapter 4, part 1 of 8. This would be chapter 4, part 2 of 8. So all of these 8 videos are there for you to just start watching them and learning them and practice them online as well. And if you say, I'm not advanced level, can I do the intermediate level? Yes. I have about 33 commands here that I'm covering, and then each one of them you click on, I give you some command like df to get df-h in human readable. This was your command, and this is your output. And then if you just want to say, well, the df-extended 4 file system, here's the output. Any of the manual pages on it, you just get the manual pages for df. So what is the df command? I explained to you here, report file system on disk space usage. At the same time, you say, how about change mode or change group and change owner? These are security permissions, so I write it like a book for you. So I say, what is change mode? I explain here, then I give you examples here. And then if the change mode is a lot you need to know, I explain all the permissions and the read, write, execute, the octet number, the UMask, and then how to practice them online or just at your own computer. I give you the entire thing in a book format. And then you can obviously do a man change mode and read more. And then if you just are going to look at more details here, obviously a lot more commands are available here. But let's say you're saying that I'm not intermediate, I'm just a very novice. Then you could just go on the basic chapter 2 and start learning on this one. And then on this one, when you click on, like, for example, banner, you cannot type in banner on a browser. So I give you some output with the, some commands with the output of it there. And then right here it says peace for all. This is what we need in the entire globe. We all need to ask for peace. Peace is the best we could do it. War is bad, and never support anybody that goes to war or support all those issues that are happening in the world, and that is very bad. And ask for peace, and everywhere is good, and try to educate people, try to not hide and just say, oh, if I just could protect these kind of nonsense, then somebody else is not going to see it. People are not blind, people will see the truth. It is good to always have love and peace for everybody, and try to educate kids so they can become smarter and then help our society better. And then I'm going to also show you these ones, and let's go on chapter 5, Linux scripting. Linux bash scripting. On bash scripting, I give you some demo script here. So whichever one you click on, you will see the kind of a script here with my name on it, saying that I wrote it, and then let's say for the for each statement to just do it. At the same time, you can click on the for each statement to run it on my server, and you get an output here. So if you just, I make it a little bit bigger here, you can see the for each script run, and then the output is saying that these are the sports, and then characters A through B, and this and that. So all of that information was in actually this script, and you do it. But at the same time, you say, well, I'm a student, I want to practice these ones on some computer. You're welcome to click here and just copy this one and run it on another computer. But if you say, can I run it here? Yes, you already did on the output. If you don't want to run another script, you could say, okay, host name here. This is showing that you're on the cloud of MyWebUniversity.com. And if I say, is this command running dynamic? You say, yeah. Calendar, this month is November, and it's there. So, and look at the time, 11:22 to 1:49 p.m., right? So this is Friday, my regular day off, and then I'm taking my time to help you out. I hope you benefit from it. So you type in date, and you can see it is 11:49 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and it is running there dynamically. If I say what OS I'm running, you say uname -a, and it will tell you. So a lot of the commands, like for example, ls-l, but then once you open this kind of syntax that you can run any command on a Linux platform, people are saying, well, how do you protect it from hackers? Hacker might just say, well, run the ls-l, I just saw it run, and then do a command, say rm-rf slash, and saying that just rm-rf /star, for example. You could just try to do these ones. I'm not going to allow it. I say, I already detected what you are trying to do. I say, well, can I do a PWD? Yeah, I could do a PWD, but let's do a PWD and then some sort of like a SQL injection. In this case, it's not SQL injection, it's buffer overflow or some sort of trying to inject more command than you're going to do it, that you're allowed. So you say echo rm minus rf star.bash, whatever argument that you want to just type in, or star.python, doesn't matter. I'm going to detect that one what you type. So that is how smart that script is. You have to make sure that if I just say send it to temp and then create the file, let's say uh, and whatever name you type in, and dot um, bash, and then at the same time do bash minus x slash bin slash temp slash temp, and then n dot bash. So if you just say execute this command, I already knew what you were typing. I already read your keystroke. So whatever you type in dynamically, my script read it and say, this is not allowed, my friend. So you're not going to just hack my system and get rid of all the cool cookies that I set up for thousands of millions of innocent students that they cannot afford to go to college. It's tough when people cannot afford it and they have to learn it the hard way and nobody provides it, this kind of environment. Just to let you know, this information is on my website. It's available for you, and hopefully I can afford to just have this one. Currently, I'm running it on myself. Everything is done through my own budget, and then hopefully I can keep it up. I need your help in terms of sharing this kind of information to your loved ones and other ones, so they all could benefit it and then learn from it. And then you could support your family and loved ones and try to make a better society everywhere we go. Okay, so I just need a quick small break for a minute and then I'll be back. Okay, so I did cover enough on the Linux Ubuntu on my website and the documentation, everything. Now we're back to the Linux Fedora distribution here that I showed you here, and that is why we went from these manual pages. We already installed the manual pages through the DNF command, which was right here, and I show you the actual DNF or yum command that I did. It's a lot of commands I typed in right here. Yum install man pages and then lib standard C++ dash docs, and that installed the ones. By default, these lib standard C++ dash docs are usually on the manual pages when you install like Rocky or Red Hat or other ones. I didn't have to do a separate one, but again, because we have multiple different distribution, some distribution does it differently than other ones. Like for example, when we were doing the um, Oracle Linux VM, at that time, even the hostname command was not provided. Or so here you see it's by default is there, which hostname, the binary is there, hostname CPL is there. It's if it's not there on the other ones or showing, but this is anything with system D, it is not there. So if you do a system CPL, this is the system is down, this one. The reason is because this is using PS minus EF direct minus I and net, which is the process of one, which is the mother of all process, and net and system 5 release 4 is the main process of the system. And then on the later version, like even Fedora on the, this is on Windows Subsystem and they're using a net. But on the regular virtual machine, Fedora, Linux, Red Hat, Ubuntu, all of them, they're using systemd. So until we use systemd, you have to use service command there instead of systemctl, because service was on the older version of 6.6 and lower, and then up to like Red Hat or Fedora and other ones that are 7 or Ubuntu 16 and up, all of them, they come up with systemd. So systemd is the newer version and service is the older version. Systemd is using system 7, and then systemctl, journalctl, all of those ones are part of the systemd. And net, which is system 5 release 4, the services is a command that you want to start all the services. So look at the service. If you type in and say service dash dash status dash all, it will give you all the services that are there. Support for script is installed. Let me say service dash dash status dash all. And then you can see that it's not allowing it. No such file on etc and net.d. And net.d is kind of like initialization .d for daemon. That one is actually not there yet. So what I'm going to do is say apt, not apt actually, dnf install. Let's just install, for example, xrdp, and then we will have a RDP file for etc xrdp, and then see if the init.d also gets created based on this application. Some of the packages that are there, it is on etc rc something.d, .1, .2, .3, depending on what run level you run. Run levels, if it is not found, this is run level is a Linux command, so it says unknown run level. It is saying that one which run level. This you can see it is there, but or no level is not known. So if you say who minus r, also supposed to show you the run level, but we don't have any run level at this time. So there's run level 1, which is single user mode, run level 2, which is multi-user mode, and run level 3, which is multi-user plus NFS, and run level 4 is not used. Run level 5 and 7 is for kind of graphic information, and then run level 6 is for reboot. So I covered all the run level here. On Solars, you also have a run level S, a lowercase and uppercases for single user mode. And then here I'm going to just show you on the run level. So let's say etc rc, I say rc star, right? You can see now rc.d and net.d is there. So and net.d is, sorry, etc rc. Let me just do ec less minus l rc star. So now you can see rc.d. rc.d is the file. So etc rc.d, and sorry, c.d, and it's init.d. Inside init.d is also a directory crc. Usually there's rc.1.d and then the rc. Those are run control, right? Run control and then the directory in it. So if I say init.d, and then here is a readme file. Let's see what Fedora did on this one. You're looking for a traditional script, rc3d.d. Yeah, I know it's traditional. So you can see here, they're just giving you some information. And then here's an explanation of one that you're running a systemd based OS or traditional method. Well, I just explained that one. I'm not going systemctl is systemd, and then so man systemctl is going to give you section 1 and other ones. But here, if I just do systemctl, it just says that it's not there because the system is down or something, because service is not doing the command. So now we have created the init.d. Let's see, a service itself, service dash dash status and dash all. It is still showing that one. So let's do etc xrdp. Now we have done this xrdp, and then you can see here if there's any startup script or not. Yeah, open SSL. So in order to run the xrdp here, we could also do xrdp start. And then you can see here dash kill is doing it to kill the process if it is running or this. And so I could say service xrdp status. And then it says that can't operate there, redirecting to a band system and this. Now what we want to do is systemctl enable xrdp. And then by doing this one, even though systemctl was saying that cannot operate, you enable xrdp, it makes a symbolic link for this multi-user xrdp.service for it. So now I can do a status on it. It is not doing it. Let me just do a start, and it is not doing a start either. So maybe we have to do which xrdp, and then user is ben xrdp start, and then just by itself you could run it like that, and then ps minus ef grep minus I xrdp, and the binary is running here. So now if I just want to kill it, I could say xrdp-k, it will kill the process. The 1534 was there. And then you have system commands to look at those processes in detail. So if I just run it again here, now notice that this command is saying I just started with a new process. So if I say lsof minus I, and then the process ID number is minus a P for process ID, colon 1539. LSOF is not installed. Which LSOF? List of open files. So DNF install LSOF. You could say that, okay, go ahead and install it. And now we have LSOF is installed. Then I can just run the command that I did here and then say minus P, no colon. My colon means which system is running. So PS minus EF grep minus I LSOF, you could see that process ID of there, LSOF minus P 1561. And that would show, actually LSOF is not LSOF. This one, sorry, I will need to do on XRDP. So now I say 1539. So LSOF minus process 1539, that's the processes for the XRDP here. So if you see that all those pipes are open here, grep minus I XRDP, if you see services, it's not showing anything here because it has to be added afterward or something when the application is getting installed. Unfortunately, it didn't do it properly. DNS DNF list XRDP. You can see it is showing that it is installed on the system, installed packages XRDP there. So if I just wanna see what port XRDP is open under, because ITC services was not showing up. So by default it's 3389. So you could say LSOF minus P minus I, and then port 3389. Minus I, the interface. Now you can see XRDP is listening, and it is XRDP with the cross ID of that one. If you want more detail, instead of -5, you say -P 1539, and then all the lesson and established connection that later on could come on this system, it's shown here. In order to know that one, you could say IP8, and then you could see that Ethernet 0 in this case is going through this interface here. So I could try to see if I could connect to it, but because I'm running a static IP address on just on the whole my network, and then my router is not going to just route this one through the Microsoft Terminal Service Console because that port 89 is open on another one. So 172.24.112. If you just look at that one and try to connect it, let's see if XRDP, if I just type in my username and then you can see it did not connect me, so I'm gonna cancel this one. I'm gonna try to do something here. If I could still get it. If I just go try to do it on another system, let's say remote desktop here, and I go to 192.168.130 for let's get my system to the one that I have already configured it. So as I told you, I have only one static IP address with that port number. So that is allowed. I have to log in there. Okay, let me just I type in the password correctly, and it should take me there. What is happening? Not sure. Okay, finally, it took the password, and now it's connecting me. So on this machine, as you can see, it is a Windows machine also. So if I just say CMD, open a CMD, and I type in system info and 5 more, you can see it's a Windows 11 operating system, as you can see here, Microsoft and the build is everything. So on this system, I have enough resources in terms of memory, everything. I could install it. WSL by itself, if I just run it, it gives me a list of commands that is available. But I'm on a command prompt with a very small list of things I can do, right? Clear screen. So WSL-L, it is saying that nothing is installed. So it did not execute it. I'm going to open a PowerShell command. In order to open a PowerShell command, actually I could just type in store here, and then look for Microsoft Store. And then here, if you just want to install the Windows Subsystem using the Microsoft Store, you're welcome to do so. I'm going to show you the command line. But here you could just type in Fedora and then press enter. If you have not installed it, it will say this is the one you want to click on install, and it will install it from the graphical interface here. So you have an option here. You can do it that way, and then once you install it, you will just go ahead open it. That's another way you could do it. But let's just leave this one as it is. I'm going to try to do it from the command line. So in order to do it from command line, because I can do more functionality, more checking after I install it, I want to show you the command line. So command line, I'm going to say PowerShell, If PowerShell is already installed in your system, you have these, well, as soon as you type in PowerShell or Power, you see Windows PowerShell here, and then Windows PowerShell integrated scripting environment. All of those ones are there, the version. So let's say I'm going to just open this one and run it as administrator. And then I say, go ahead, allow it as administrator. And then this screen comes in. I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger by pressing Control Shift plus actually. Let me just clear the screen here. Control Shift plus together, and that's not working. Control plus not working. So if you do Control plus, another one doesn't work, you have to right click here and then say go to properties and change the font. So the font now, instead of 18, I want to make it like 24. I think that's good enough size, and then you can see everything that I'm going to type in here. And this is maximized. I could see everything on this screen. So I'm going to just say WSL and -L. You can see the -L is there, WSL -list is there. That is not anything installed yet. So WSL -L online, right? -O for online. So this is the list of software that is there. In this case, because we don't have a Fedora distribution, if I say WSL dot exec and then install and then say Fedora, and it says maybe that distribution is not found, right? So it does not do it. And then let's just do it from the store, Microsoft Store. So right here, we're on Microsoft Store. We type in Fedora and it came out. So I'm going to just say install it. And then you click on install. This is from the GUI, which is right now, it's installing the Fedora WSL app. So on the application. And now it says open it. And it is already installed. And so let's go, before I open it, I want to just go back to the PowerShell command and say WSL-L, and it's still not listing anything here yet. So let's go and open it from the store. And then we say open. Okay, notice that when we say open, installing this may take a few minutes, and it came out with an error message. See, the Windows Subsystem for Linux has not been installed, enabled, and then so it didn't do it. Even though here it says successfully done. So I'm going to just close this one. I'm going to say Microsoft Store, excuse me, Store, and then I right click here and say run as administrator. Maybe it does not have that option as run as administrator. So Fedora, and then this time I'm going to just open the app again, and see it says that it's open it, even though the installation failed. Now it's trying to open it, and again it failed here. So if you're just getting that information, I didn't get it on the other machine. Not sure what is causing here. So let me just check it out. Wirelessly connect to another device. Okay. So on the command line, when I say WSL .exec and then -- install, if I just do this one without any argument, it's going to install Ubuntu distribution. So I'm going to allow this one to install it because, the reason it is not happening is because you have to do a number of things before you do this one. So right here, the fact that I'm doing this one from command line, and then I say, yeah, go ahead, allow this control and there. So it will just do this one, but at the same time, you have to enable virtual machine installation and all the Windows Subsystem before you actually do these things. So, and somehow on the Microsoft Store, it failed because those features were maybe not on. So you can come on the command line here, type in feature, and then this comes in with the turn on Microsoft Windows features on and off. And you come in on Windows Subsystem, make sure that is checked for Windows Subsystem. It should be somewhere here. Yeah. When Windows for Subsystem for Linux, it was off. I checked it, and also for virtualization. So virtual machine platform is already on. So you enable that one, and also Windows Subsystem for Linux. Now your system is good. And then you can also do, it says that Windows completed request changes. Windows needs to be rebooted your system PC to finish it. So before I reboot it yet, I don't want to reboot it because I'm running other system on it. I want to just take care of my main process here. Let me just temporarily do that one. But before I do that one, let me do a couple of more things. So WSL-L, it shows that it's allowed to run this one because I enabled that feature. Windows Subsystem for Linux is enabled. Remember that the option that I was telling you here, if you just do a start on this URL, you can just open a browser, and on the browser you can see that page and details of what is Windows Subsystem allowing you. Somehow it went to another URL. Okay, this is the one that I was planning to open it, and it opened it, but there was a more tab there. Windows Subsystem-install is the option, and then here it gives you all these options that you could set. You could also do Windows Subsystem, set the default version to 1 or 2. So by default, you want to set it to 1, and then you do your installation. Then once you switch it for the systemd stuff and services, you could do Windows Subsystem version 2 after. So that is some of the options you could do. Let me just look at this one. And then notice here Windows Subsystem Linux-L -L, and then -O for online. It is showing all of these ones. I don't see Fedora, so I'm going to go back to the Microsoft Store and type in Fedora. And actually, I'm going to click on Open, see if this one is still having that error, right? So that error is still there. I'm going to just say, okay, that's fine. Don't do it this way, and then let's do with the Windows Subsystem installation here. Because after I reboot it, maybe it's going to work. But let's try it before the reboot. We say Windows Subsystem --help, and then 5 more. So, okay, 5 more is not going to work on this one because it is a graphical thing. So I'm going to just say this. And notice the one with the --install distro. You could do --install distro, or --update to update your system, or --import to do the Torganze file kind of format. So install, and then followed by the distribution name is the thing that you want to do in this case. So since we did the Fedora, let's see before the reboot if this would work. So you say WSL-L-O, and notice that Fedora is not in this list. So it might not work if you just don't have it. You have to have a Torganze file, then you use the --import to do it. But I'm going to try that one anyway. So I say install, and then Fedora. Okay, so the good news is that it is still kind of went through it, right? The development image, it found the image, and now it is doing it. The operation completed successfully. Okay, invalid distribution name Fedora. It did not find Fedora because of this dash dash less dash dash online says, well, I did not have a distribution name called Fedora. Remember this dash one that we didn't have it. So whether you type in w dash less dash dash online, you're gonna get the same distribution. So that's a fact that we tried with Fedora, it did not work on it. But if you say dash dash less dash online and you want to do an Ubuntu or Debian or something, let's say Fedora is similar to Oracle Linux 9 there, as well as yeah, the closest one here we have is Oracle Linux 9. So I'm going to try that one. I'm going to say from command line WSL dash dash install open SUSE, not OpenSUSE, Oracle, let's see, sorry about the typos. I'm sorry, whether it's uppercase, lowercase, doesn't matter. But it is still good to type in what you're seeing on the left side here. So I'm typing that one. This one will be installed because it finds it in there. And you can see it is going through the installation. However, like I mentioned to you last time, so it says request operation. Let's see, Zoom is blocking me successfully. And then it says that change will not take effect until the system is rebooted. So the fact that we're not rebooting yet, WSL-L, you can see that it is telling me that the system needs to be rebooted, and the file also that I opened, the URL you could see, and that is there. So the only thing I could do is now to reboot the system, and then while I'm doing that one, I'll just not record it, and then I'll come back to this video. Just let me pause for a second. I forgot to tell you one more thing. So I'm gonna do WSL dash dash update before I reboot it. So now it has the latest subsystem installed already. So I'm going to pause and reboot and then come back to this. And let me just do that. Okay, so I just rebooted my machine and it is back online. You can see the Windows operating system here. A very nice small baby tiger or baby lion symbol. So I had a very beautiful cat name also symbol that reminds me of our symbol. So let's go, it was brown color like that. So let's go to open a PowerShell command prompt as administrator, right? I'm gonna say run as administrator, and then I say yes here. So now we have a PowerShell command prompt here open. What I'm going to do on this Windows operating system with PowerShell, first type in WSL-L. And you can see that it shows Fedora is installed and Ubuntu is installed on this one. Previously, before the reboot, I did both of them. But Fedora, we did it with Microsoft Store. So I'm going to open it. Actually, I did both of them with the command line, I believe. And maybe Fedora, we started with the one with the Microsoft Store. So let's just look at it and see this time under Fedora what are our options. So the app here that is there, it shows that it's installed, and that way you have this open button. So I'm going to click on open, and it will automatically open and drop me into PowerShell. I'm sorry, Fedora operating system here. And then at this time, I'm going to just type in uname -a, and you can see that it is the Fedora distribution there. So let's just keep going on this one. Well, since we started, we could also just type in Fedora here, and then that would also open up the app that we did right here, like this. So whether you open it from the command line and there, or just type in on CMD, open up here and say Fedora WSL by itself, that will just be like the client version of it. It's starting it. So there's a number of ways you could do that one, right? And then another thing is WSL -L here, it will not work because I'm not in PowerShell. So if I just, sorry, not, I'm on Linux Ubuntu. If I'm on the command line and then type in clear screen, which is CLS for Windows, and then when you type in PowerShell, inside PowerShell, it's clear command. So if I go here, PowerShell, and then do a clear command, that would work, a clear screen would work. So sometimes without thinking, I just type in clear. But if you're on the command prompt of DOS or Windows operating system, CLS is the command you want to clear screen. So WSL itself here also going to work from the Windows, but there's no WSL --- installed because I'm I'm opening this command prompt as regular user command prompt, and so you can see -- install would not work. So you just have to do WSL as client and then do that command. So the nice thing about WSL, it requires a number of commands that you can do. For example, WSL, you could just, let me make this screen a little bit bigger. So you can say WSL -e and then host name. -e means executed. You can also type in -exec for longer ones, and then that would also work. So this -exec or -e allow you to run a number of commands, not a number, every command that you want to think of it, like you want to do calendar. If calendar is installed, it will work. But since it's not installed, it's not working. PWD, date, and then let's say I'm gonna do a clear screen. And then just run this command, -e, shorter version, and then I say cut etc host. That would show the content of the host. Actually, with the -e is only one dash, not -exec is the longer form. So clear screen, and then you just type in this command, it will just give you the host name. If you want to say WSL stat on etc host file, then it will give you a statistic of that. I wrote the stat rather than just, let me just write it again. WSL-e stat and then etc host file. So that will give you the content of that file there. Similarly, WSL-l etc host file will give you a long listing of that file. This will give you stat, and then I meant to type in WSL, then -e unless, and then etc host. Sometimes I'm not thinking what I'm typing, so I just keep pushing the button. Sorry about that. So WSL, and then -e for execute or -- execute, and then followed by the command that you want to do. So like uname -a is your command, you do that one. So notice that if I'm inside command prompt, I could do this one, but if I just clear my screen and say, go to PowerShell, and now I'm on PowerShell, inside PowerShell, let me just cd to the prompt and then clear command. Now I'm inside PowerShell, so get -process, it works, all the command that are related to PowerShell would works. And then at the same time, if I just say pwd, that's my current working directory, print working directory. And alias pwd is as pointing to get dash location. So get dash location would tell me the same thing. Why am I showing you this? Because WSL requires a lot of arguments. One of the arguments is dash L to show what is currently set in there. So if I say WSL dash E cat minus N etc OS dash release file, notice that one is going to give me the content of Ubuntu in a release file, because WSL-L was pointing to Ubuntu as default one. So now if I just clear my screen here and do the same command that this one, as you can see, and Ubuntu is the default one, you can just say WSL-S, and meaning that switch between Ubuntu and Fedora and make Fedora the default one. So now we switched at WSL-L, and it tells me that my Fedora is the default one. So if I just do the same command with cat minus E, cat minus N, and then OS-release, now we are seeing the content of the Fedora. So and now every command that I want to execute from PowerShell, I can run them. Like for example, I could even say WSL and then say PWD. That WSL uname minus A. I don't have to say the minus E or dash dash exec. I could short it even with that one. So WSL knows that, okay, that's my WSL. If I want to get into the Ubuntu, I mean, in this case is Fedora, uname dash A, you can see it is Microsoft standard WSL2. And then for the OS name, cat minus N, etc OS dash release, you can see it is Fedora, right? So if I just exit out of this one and then say, okay, I want to just be inside what PowerShell and execute the command, can I do that one? Yes. WSL calendar, WSL date, WSL. So how fast it is, how nice it is. Uname dash A, and WSL uname dash O, uname whatever, all those arguments. So now since I'm on Fedora, I could say WSL, what is the package manager, in this case is YAM or DNF, I could say DNF list. So I get all the packages that are there. And then at this time, if I could also pass on some argument like word count or something, it might work. Let me just try that one. So clearing my screen, this was my command. I just say word count minus L. It did not understand it because I'm not inside this WSL. So this argument was thinking that, hey, you're doing it from PowerShell. So this parameter passing is not going to work because you're inside here, and there must be another way. So easy way to do it is here, you type in DNF list and then word count minus L. Now I'm inside Fedora. It will run, right? So inside here, I could say, okay, now run this command, say that is the number of them, and then do a DNF update dash Y and DNF upgrade dash Y. Since it's a development testing machine, I'm going to do both at the same time. And it's going to run concurrently fast enough with the and meaning that update is completed successfully, then do the upgrade afterward. But because it's Fedora 40, it's just going to be Fedora 40. It's not going to be just upgraded to a new version. Because sometimes these releases, there are sub versions, like for example, Red Hat 9 and then 9.1, and then when you update it, the update will get it to 9.2. But when you upgrade, you get it to a major release, which is like 10. And so good news is Red Hat 10 is going to be out in early 2025 in 2 months. So we're going to use that one. I'm going to make a video for you from 0 to hero on that one as well. The version 9 is watched a lot, and so that is good thing. People are making some nice comments that they like it and everything. So let's just look at this one. Now we have done it. I'm going to say DNF less and then word count minus L. See how much after the upgrade is 79 for 431. So at this time, let's run some more commands. So ps minus ef grep minus I and net. And that is, you can see as system 5 release 4 process ID of it is 1. So that means it is not running system D. However, I could just use system D for some of the purpose. So if I say system D, system CTL status, and just say that, oh, cannot operate. If you get this message, don't panic, because the problem is that all the Linux subsystems, they're using system 5 in it, which is process ID 1, rather than system D, system 7. So you have to do something with DNF, not to install software. So DNF install xrdp. That's for remote desktop software. And I'm going to install that one. So it is being processed. It was completed successfully. So let's see if we can install desktop, whether you want to install GNOME desktop or KDE or anything, Wayland, whatever environment is your choice. I'm going to try and this one and option that we have here. Let's say if I just do DNF grep minus I just for the desktop. The list is going on, like so many of them. You can see just matching the desktop is 102 of them. But if you look at the pipe of these ones and more, you can see all the packages that are there. Some of them are just regular packages, so you could just say, well, this is not gonna be the one that I want, but there's made this MinGW, Red Hat, all the options, XDG, and then XFD desktop. There's a number of them, right? So I'm going to do something, search for Plasma. Plasma, and then you see that there's a lot on Plasma as well here. But if I do something just to search for desktop, desktop, and then search for KDE, for example, and then you see that there's only one matching, XDG desktop portal. And then if I just search for SDD, 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 and G, I think it is SDDG or whatever the name is. Let's see if we search for Plasma. Plasma, then search for SDD, it might find out, yeah, SDM, and then Wayland Plasma. So I'm gonna try this one maybe to see how it is going to get our version. And then the one that I want to do is say DNF install, and then sddm dash Wayland and dash Plasma. And .org is by default is there. So, and notice that when you do this one, there's so many other packages that are coming as a result of them. So some of the dependencies you have to look into it to make sure, like Plasma activities, all those other ones that are there. There's a lot of lab stuff. So nobody memorizes all of these ones. You just have to search on the internet for the one that you want and then install them. Or just learn the commands and figure out what you need to install and what you need to enable for it. You can only enable one desktop environment at a time. So whenever you enable one, you have to disable the previous one temporary to just enable it. Like right now, we did the one that we installed here, which is sddm. So in order to just look at the this package which we installed it, I could say DNF list this one. You can see it is installed. You can also with DNF you can get instead of list you can say like for example info or show. So let's see if info is giving you a further package on that SDDM WLAN package. You can see a lot of details there, right? So clear screen and you say RPM minus QA, grep minus I, WLAN or SDDMs. Notice that it is there. The one that is as a package this. So if I say RPM minus QA or QL for listing it, and then just do SDDM dash WLAN dash plasma. It's a long one. Plasma. Let's see if that is by itself is good enough. No. RPM minus QL, and then you can also cut and paste like last time. I just did a while read war. You could do that one or just do it. So it's only one configuration file. This is just a configuration file to configure the WLAN. It is not actually the desktop version. So let's see what else with SDDM is available. We are going to say RPM, not RPM, DNF list SDDM. Okay, so SDDM is this might be the actual package that is there. And then man SDDM is not installed yet. So I'm going to say DNF install SDDM. That will install that package. And then it's desktop background compat and then Fedora 4D background base. So that those are the two good packages there that we needed. And then all I have to do is say now, instead of the DNF install DDM, I could just type in DNF info, and then that package is there. At the same time, if I say PS minus EF grep minus I, not PS minus EF, sorry, I have to do RPM minus QA grep minus I SDDM, and then those two package. Now, if I want to query the one with a package RPM minus QL SDDM, that one is going to tell me all the binaries and everything that are installed here, the libraries, everything. So if I say grep minus I bin, then you can see SDDM is the package manager for it. Now we most likely we have the man pages for it. Most likely we have the manual pages for it. Man SDDM. It will give you the simple desktop display manager. That's what SDDM stand for. Simple desktop display manager, which is nice. So now we have to enable it. Say system CTL enable SDDM, and then make sure that the system CTL disable GDM. By default, Xorg and GDM is enabled. So I did that one, and GDM most likely is not installed. So RPM minus QA, grep minus I, GDM. If we didn't install it, it's not there. So there's no such thing as disabling it by default. So I should have checked it. Now I checked it, it is not there. I enabled this one system CTL. The name of the package was SDDM, a simple desktop display manager. And then we say status. It is not running because we're not running systemd again. So we have to do service and then SDDM and then status. So we enabled it, and then service, you gave it that one. Systemctl status. The status for systemctl is the second argument. For the service is the third argument. The stop and the start is similar. So we do a systemctl status and then sddm, and that is telling me that I have to, after you do this one, you have to stop, power it off. So if I say systemctl is status of sddm, it doesn't show. If I say service sddm status, it doesn't show because it says that the system need to be terminated or powered off and then power on. So now what does that mean? Is you say uptime here, you can see it's 32 minutes. This has been up. So I'm gonna say exit out of here, and now I'm back on the prompt shell. PowerShell prompt. WSL-L, it says that Fedora is the default one. But notice that since the command is there, I know that sddm is installed. So what I need to do at this time is to say that if I say -- running, this is saying that Fedora is running. So the minute I go to WSL, it's going to drop me to Fedora. And if I just say uptime, it says 32 minutes or 33 minutes. I need to just not see that running state, right? So how do I do that? When I say WSL-T for terminate, and then I could say Fedora. Now Fedora is terminated. So next time I just want to go in and there, I could see that running is not going to show that there's no running. So that's how you check to see if the system is running. And if it is running and you want to stop it, you do -T, Fedora, the name of the distribution, it will stop it. Now I go back to it and then I say uptime. It's not going to say 32 minutes or 33 minutes. It's still going to show 0 minutes. Or actually it shows 34 minutes. It's not shut down with that one. That the -T should have terminated. So let's do it one more time. Maybe because there was another terminal that was also running on it. I must have opened one more terminal. Remember, I opened one more terminal on this other screen. So let me just close my sessions, and then that one is I'm going to close also. I want to make sure that I don't have any other process that is connected with Fedora. This one I'm going to close it too because this one is stored, and that one is just browser. That's not it. So at this time, I don't think I have much. This is Fedora, Ubuntu on the virtualization server. So let's get back to opening a PowerShell here. PowerShell, and then right click on it and say run as administrator and say yes. And then here the prompt comes in, cd to the clear screen here and say ID, that I not ID, I'm still here. So WSL-L. And then you can see that it is on Fedora, right? So let's say WSL, just connect to Fedora, and then uptime, it says 0 minutes. So that one of the session was still in a state that was dangling or just waiting for the process to terminate successfully. And now it shows 0 bytes. So if you see that when you did a -T and it doesn't show up right away, do this, and then you will see that it's there. So now, and this is good. Now I'm going to say service status -all. And then you can see all the only LSBs start to stop. So it says that I just only see these processes. If I say service itself, you can see -- status. So right here, I missed the -- and -- and then it says no such file. So that is okay, but LSD, we're gonna say a service, sddm, simple desktop display manager, and then we just check on the status of that one. And says redirecting to system D, because we did that one with the systemctl enable sddm. We did that one. Now we do the status is not running, so I'm gonna say start, and then redirecting it. Now let's see if status is gonna show or not. It does not show, but let's see ps minus ef grep minus I sddm, and then that is not showing either. And we enabled it, and we did the graphical interface, and then which sddm. So let's just say sddm, we run it as a command line and there. And normally if you just ampersand it on, it runs on the background, but I want to see what is showing on the screen here. So this is the desktop manager. Let me just control C out of it. The graphic is still holding it. Detect local C with character this. Okay, so I terminated ps minus ef grep minus I sddm. I'm going to try the desktop manager etc. And let's see if there's anything with sddm here. Yeah, there's a directory called sddm, and there's a sddm.conf file also there. And then you see that X is stop and X is set up. So if you want to set up the WLAN session there, but let's just look at cat minus n dot slash sddm.conf file. So this is the conf file, and you can see that there are some options here that you have to go and enable it, and then you do this one, okay? Default and everything. So there's some documentation, most likely. Let me look for it. Okay, so we're gonna resume on the part of the display and then desktop and everything. So let's check first if xrdp is going to be installed and everything. So first thing, sddm was there. I'm gonna say apt, not apt, DNF installed or reinstalled, even if it is there. Let me just do xrdp-k for kill. So I kill that process. I'm going to say DNF install, reinstall actually, reinstall. You can also do a remove xrdp. If I previously installed it, I'm going to delete it, remove it first. Then I'm going to reinstall it. So now that was the command to remove it. Now you have to say install an xrdp. Now I'm going to say yes, and then notice that how many other packages are getting installed. So that was easy to remove it first and then install it, or you could just do reinstall. So DNF list xrdp is installed. Now I'm going to say systemctl enable xrdp. So that's system D started. There, if I could just start it with xrdp the start command, I'll do it, but it is not doing it, even though it says redirecting to systemctl. And then when you look at the process of xrdp, it's not there, right? And grep minus v, my grep command was showing, but it is nothing there, right? If you see xrdp, you can see here all the files, the initialization files. So if I just clear the screen, say ls command, these are the files that are there. But as you can see that there's no desktop manager or anything configured yet. So by doing the service xrdp on most system start, it would have started it, and then it will initialize that desktop manager. So now if you see here and then say xrdp star, let's see, ls minus ld xrdp star, you can see there's an xrdp directory, but there's no conf file. Yeah, it is OpenSSL conf. That's not for this one. So what I want to do is, that's if you want to secure it, maybe OpenSSL, and it is cat minus n openssl.conf file. You can see what is inside that file is basically, if you're configuring it with OpenSSH and OpenSSL configuration stuff. I'm going to show you SSH also later on this one. So let's do this. We're going to check xrdp. So which xrdp is there? I'm gonna say user sben xrdp and then ampersand to run that binary. I could just simply type xrdp ampersand, that would take it, but I want to see a full path on xrdp here. So now this process is started, and the process ID number is 297. So LSOF minus process ID 297 will show the LSOF is not installed. DNF install LSOF. So you can see the bare bone packages of this one did not have much there. Now we install this one and this process shows up, LSOF is there, which LSOF you can see there. And then that process ID of XRDP 297, it shows that it is listening. So let's do a netstat minus an and grep minus I for listen to see what port we're listening on it. We could also do port 3389, but now netstat is not installed. So when you say which netstat, it is not there, right? So in order to find out which package tool it is part of netstat, when you do this one, it says it's not there. And then at the same time, I know DNF install net-tools has that one, but in order to find out if you are not familiar with netstat package, what you could do is say here, say DNF provides netstat. This one will tell you the package name, and provides is a very useful command with DNF argument, passing it to say that which package provide the netstat command. If you don't see it on the first list, you can do asterisk in front of the netstat and then asterisk after. So no matter where it found, it is there. And notice that it found it, it says under netstat tool. You could have just also done like star if it did not find it, and then sometimes use a ban, another one. So since we found it, we could just say DNF install net-tools. Whatever is the name of the package that you are going to install in order to get this netstat command. So then you say yes, install net-tools. Now, which netstat is going to be found there? Netstat minus an grep minus I listen, that was not working previously, now it works. Notice the port 3389 is already there. If I didn't know what port it was there, this is how you find out. You can also go and say PS minus EF grep minus I XRDP is running, and then say LSOF minus P 297 process 297, and then you could also do LSOF minus I, and then the port number 3389 when we found out that was there. You could also do netstat minus an, and then grep minus I listen, and then grep 3389, that would just easily find it. Since I know the port number, I don't need to do search for listen. I could automatically see that one. And then that port with LSOF minus P 3389, it will tell you that, okay, minus I, and then colon. And that is the syntax. So you just see that it is the Microsoft Web tools for server, right? Whatever's WBT stand for, right? At the minute, it doesn't say something. Web-based maybe tools or something. So now we have the remote desktop running, and then it is listening on port 3389. So that means I could just say, give me the IP address of my machine. And then by doing host name and then IP A, and you can see here, this is the IP address. But if I want to just get that one, rather than just doing IP A, I could say IP A show Ethernet 0, that would just show me this line, right? So if I just do this command, it shows that, and then I could say grep minus inet, and that would just give me those lines. But notice the second field of the first line, it is the header, the IP address. So I could say head -1. I only want this one, and now I could say awk print $1, $2. In this case, is the IP address. So this is how you are seeing this information. And then if you're on the prompt, you might want to just say exit out of this one, and you're on W and this, you could say WSL IP, maybe it's a route, IP, a route show, and then that would give you the information that you want. So this is one, and then the other one is this is IP address. So let's see if this one is going to take us to this is the address of the server, and then for the route is telling us this, but that's a network. So I'm going to rely on this one to get me to Microsoft remote desktop connection. So I say Microsoft Terminal Service Console on the command line, and then type in the IP address of 172.26.91.146. And that take me to the remote desktop. Now I have to log in on this one. 1 second, I need to just actually turn on the lights. My room is really close. I cannot even read anything. Pause recording. So you can see that xrdp is having VNC, xVNC here, and other ones is something else. I'll try first. Excuse me. First, I will try the VNC, and then type in my username and password. See if I can get connected. If not, like I mentioned to you earlier, most likely this will fail because of the port 3389 is only on one IP address is allowed on my firewall router stuff. So I'm not going to connect to this one, no matter how I keep trying on this one. You see port 3389 is there, and then the IP address that was showing up here, let's just copy that one, what it was. I forgot what it was, so let me just shorten it. I could see it from here, and then it was this is a different screen. Let me quickly cancel this one, and then I'll come back to it because I didn't copy this IP address here, and I'm gonna, yeah, now I have it on the buffer, and then I'll just remote desktop again. So let's do Microsoft Terminal Service Console or remote desktop, and then paste this IP address here, and that 146. Yes, that's the one. And then go to xrdp, and then certification error. I don't know if that certification is gonna cause a problem, because remember the OpenSSL stuff, maybe we have to enable it to just do it. Do not ask me again for this one, so let's just do with the default certificate. And then here, we're just doing that, and then the server IP address, I cannot paste it, I had to memorize it. Oh God, they make it difficult for you. 172.26.91, 146. Okay, let's see, 126. Let me just, that's too much to memorize all these numbers. I'm gonna take a screenshot of that IP address here. Okay, and then let's just go back to connect, and then we say yes. And then here we just choose this. And now I'm gonna type in the IP address of that one, which I have taken the screenshot for it, and then I'm going to type in 172.26.91.146. And then username, I'm going to type in my username, and password, I'm gonna type in my password and see if that succeeds. No. I'm going to give up on this one because I have to do a lot more after the reboot of the server. And then on the graphic part, I'll just pass on and say that, okay, because I configured one machine on it, and for the remote desktop on that port, I have to enable it on the firewall, and then also maybe OpenSSH on OpenSSL stuff. But I'd rather show you more on the operating system level. So now we have done that one. Let's just go close these ones, and then we're going to just use that one the way it is. So the other option that you have here, if I exit out of that one, I want to show you some commands with WSL running from here. So whether you do it on that system or this other system, doesn't matter. I'm going to show you on one of them. So I'm on the PowerShell command, as you can see. Hostname is my operating system hostname, and then system info, find a string /i, and then OS space name. That is telling me that I'm running Microsoft Windows 11 on this machine. But if I want to just see WSL-L, whether my Windows Subsystem for Linux that are installed here, the Fedora is the default one. So if I just do this WSL, I could say -E for execute and say hostname also shows the my web tut on that one also. So if I say, okay, that is good, and then how about running a calendar command here? Calendar command will just run the calendar command on that machine. And similarly, if I clear a screen here, say run the, let me make this one bigger so you don't see any other confusion there. So calendar command, and then say calendar 1/90/70. Just run that calendar on January 1st, 1970. Or just we say PS minus EF, just give me a list of all the processes that are running. Like, remember that if I was going to do piping, the piping, and that means that I'm using PowerShell. So I could say pipe commands, like for example, get dash process, and then look at the process, and then say this is the list of process on this one. And if I say start dash process, calculator, let's say, and then now notice the calculator is started here on this PowerShell command prompt. So if I just say, well, that's great, how about making this screen smaller, and so you could see the PowerShell calculator here as well. And then now I'm going to just say, move the calculator right here. So on the background, you can see the calculator is open here. All I could say is say, okay, I'm on this one, I say, get dash process, or just PS command is for short. So PS, and then alias PS is pointing to get dash process. So get dash process, and then do a where object, and then this is all PowerShell, $_ name and dash like, and then we're gonna say anything that matches calculator. So let's see if calculator is named something else when we started off the process. So it is like calculator where and $ name dot. It did not find it. Let's see what it is there. I'm going to where name like. I'm gonna say the percentage here. I don't think percentage is Oracle, but PowerShell should do with wildcard. Yeah, with wildcard, which is access, and then that did not find calculator. Let me see if the process is there. Get dash process, and then pipe more. So you see all the process are here, and then something must be, the name is something else rather than calculator or calc. Maybe I type calc, just calc, it might be calculator or something right there. So let's see what it is on the name. I'm gonna say where name is calculator. I'm gonna say name equal, and then say calculator. So let's see if the calculator does exactly there or not. It is not showing up there. I'm going to exit out of this one, see what I can do here. Let's start another process somehow. That one, if we can see Notepad, we say start dash process. Maybe we didn't do the calculator like that last time. Let's try the start process. Maybe I have started just calculator differently. So if I just do this one, it's not there where name and like, and then the percentage calc, percentage. So first you need to check on this one to see whether the process, get dash process. So if I just see that some processes start with WSL host, well, and let's just see if anything is matching WSL. It's not matching for some reason. So if I just go back to this other one with PowerShell and to see what's going on that system, maybe some of the things is not enabled. So let's just look at a PowerShell command here, and then we say run as administrator, yes. And then on this time, I'm going to just start calculator. I should get that information with PowerShell the way it is there. Let me minimize this window and maximize this window. And then we say cd and dot clear screen, and then say start calculator, and that start the calculator. At this time, minimize this one so you see both of them, or just have one on the left side here, this, and then on the right side, that one, right? So now you know the calculator is on the right side. Host name is on this machine. I'm on algorithm. That's a different machine. And then I'm going to say that on the PowerShell, if you look at the calculator process, is it running? Let's check it. So where do I do it? Get dash process, and then where $sign underscore dot name equal or dash and then we say percentage asterisk calculator, asterisk calc is good enough, and then double quote and then brace here. So that one finds it. Maybe I'm typing something on the other thing. It has to work like this. So $sign underscore dot name and then the brace. Maybe I put not the brace. I will check it out on the other system. So the way you do that one now, you say stop dash process. So that is stopping that process. You know that I'm on the PowerShell command here, running PowerShell. But at the same time, I'm on the PowerShell. I could say dash L, say dash running, which system is running, and you see that default is Fedora. So I could also say WSL run the calendar command. It will run the calendar command. WSL dash E run the calendar command. It will do that. WSL dash exact calendar command. It will do that one. WSL dash E date command, and short form is WSL date. WSL and then hostname. WSL dash E hostname. Any command that you type in WSL DNF less. All the commands, everything will run and no problem, right? Similarly, DNF or YAM or RPM, any command that you do, it is going to execute from PowerShell, within PowerShell. So like here, you did this one, I could say, just do RPM minus QA, and instead of list, query all. You could see that it's there. So if you want to get into the system, obviously you get into the system and then you say RPM minus QA, word count minus L, and you say DNF list, word count minus L. All those commands with the piping, everything was working. The reason I went with the PowerShell with the calculator is to show you that when you're doing piping, the piping only works inside PowerShell for PowerShell. It's not gonna just say WSL DNF less and then word count minus L. There's no such thing. So you see that one word count is not recognized. But if I say, for example, get dash process and then say get dash measure or just measure it, measure, and then you can see that how many counts of processes are there. And then you can see what the minimum, maximum, and all of that, right? So the piping is inside PowerShell is different than the piping that you're inside the OS level, right? So you have to understand that. That's what I'm showing you there. And then we did all of this. Now let's get one more thing done, and then I will finish this video because I don't want it too long. And then the next thing I want to do is remember, I was telling you that you can just have the system in order to run application, packages, binaries, installation, and other ones. Previously, I had installed Linux Ubuntu on some of my systems. So on this system, I had installed Rocky, Red Hat, and then Linux Ubuntu. You can see all these Rocky and then even Solaris operating system. All of them, or I have been running it. At the same time, and this other one that I did, a remote desktop, I'm running also Linux Ubuntu. So like here, you can see that I'm on a Linux Ubuntu, and this is actually MyWebUniversity.com, which is serve you the website and the book and everything online for free. So I'm going to log in here, and then let's see if I could just log in here. So the password, I must have modified it, and I have to remember what password I did on this one. It's a lot of system I have and a lot of password, and You can hack it anytime you want. So this is not gonna come up right now because I mistyped the password, but when it comes back to let me know that it is timing out on the password, then I will retype it correctly, assuming that this will come back fast. So if it doesn't come up on this screen, what I could do is just go here on this other screen, like minimize this one. I have also command line through SSH and other ones that I can connect. And then let me just show you. So I must have backed up my system already. You have to back up your system. So what I want to show you, if I just go here under users, Wahid, MyWebUniversity, and then go to backup, and then new backup. No, look how many levels of information I've done it, and then you can see that the latest backup I did was 11-11. So I normally back up everything under program files, home directory, all my binaries, everything, and then HTML files and etc, CGIs, all of that one, and I will just restore, in this case, at least these two, HTML and then CGI bin. So in order to do that one, on the other one that I was logged on as, I have to go through that one, and then let me just show you. If that one is not coming up the way it should have, I'm going to log in through, this one is 254.27. Let's try that one, see what it is. 27 might not be up and running, or maybe it is. These are local subnets, so somebody that is hoping that they can get this information and hack me, this machine will be down by the time I post these videos. So don't even waste your time if you're a hacker. But if you're a good person and helping people, and let me help other people also, you're going to just watch this video and share it, and that way you could just help me and help others as well. And so now I open this terminal here, and this is taking a little bit time to just open it. What I need to do is, this screen is open, so that screen actually died out. Let's see if it is, this one is actually 27, might be going there on, and this is Ubuntu, yeah. Ubuntu connection server. And let me see on the server here, when I say show here, and this is just hanging. I want to just type in my password. Let me just do control and then tab, and then, so this okay, so I'm logged on this system here. As you can see, ID-en. The host name is my work tutorial, and that's the host name. And cat -n etc os-release. This one is a Linux, a virtual machine running on VirtualBox that I just showed you on the screen, that was waiting for me to log in. But I was able to SSH through this, and then now I have this session. I can open as many terminals to connect through Bitwise. And Bitwise is a very good tool. It allows you there to connect. So I'm going to do sudo su dash, and then become root after I type in my password correctly. always treat try or second try as a charm. So now I'm logged on. How do I check it? D-UN. So this is I'm root here, right? So I'm gonna maximize this window that you could see this. On the slash homes W Lutfi Wahid here. I have a lot of files here. I'm gonna make a temporary directory and make it says mapdir temp and then cd ls minus ld temp. And since the ownership is there root, I cannot upload files there. So I'm gonna say change owner Wahid and group also Wahid on the temp. Now I just did that one. Now temp is read writable by Wahid. Have access, and then if I cd to temp, you can see here it is no files there. So I need to upload some files from the Windows command prompt, and notice that I showed you here all those files that are clear screen and directory 11 star dash 11 11 star. These files there, but I want to do HTML and CGI. Let's do the CGI first. So I'm gonna do scopy CGI dash bin dash good dash 11 dash 11. So everything else is .tar zip file. I'm gonna just upload it to that IP address that is there. So here I have to be up and running SSHD. So systemctl status SSHD, clear screen systemctl SSHD status, sorry, systemctl status and then SSH. And then you can see on Linux Ubuntu is called the SSH service, and it is up and running. So that means I could say netstat minus an and grep minus I for listen, and port 22 is one of the port that I'm listening. So if I say lsof minus I colon 22, and then you can see it is listening. So I'm going to upload files there. So let's do this. I'm gonna say send this one to /home, or I could just say tilde because I'm logging in as Wahid here. Let's copy this file to Wahid at MyWebUniversity.com, MyWebUniversity.com, colon slash home Wahid slash 10. Just to type it in, I could have done tilde slash 10 also, but I'm gonna type it in much faster than think about it. So now a CGI bin is getting uploaded. And then once this is saying 100% done, I could go to this screen and then do ls minus l, that file is there. So that file and say it's in a GAN zip format, right? So if I say ls, you can see that's in a GAN zip format. I could say tar z for extracting the GAN zip file, tvf, and then CGI-bin. Extraction, you type in, instead of T, you type in X, but T is still displayed. So this file, I want to just display first what it is there. Notice that it is installing everything under CGI bin. So what I want to do is go to the directory of user lib, and then here I have a CGI-bin directory, ls minus ld CGI-bin, and then my previous command, I just did show this one. All I have to do is say that file is actually under the tilde slash temp directory slash. This will display the content of it. Let's see why cannot open no such file or directory. So the tilde it was not understood. I'm going to say tar this one /home/ Wahid / this. And now you see that it is reading it, which means that I could just say ls minus ld cgi ben, that November 11, I'm going to update that one with all the content of these files. So instead of doing ztvf, I'm going to say zxtvf extraction. So let's just go and change the t to z to x, and then it will extract it. Now the files on the CGI bin is there. So the way I know it is that lately I modify the man pages there CGI dash bin and say man to pdf.cgi. That file is there, and then I just updated that one as of November, and then the timing is from last time a modification. You can see the timestamp is from last time. So if I say vim man to pdf.cgi, this is the line that I just modified at that day to make sure that Python 3 is working there. So, and later on, even though I did this one, and then I did it for both Python 3 and Python 2, but it is already working there. In order for me to look at the man to PDF, I can go to my website and say, take me to the main page here. And then on this one, let's look at the dynamic generation. If this one fails, then I have some work to do, but it doesn't. Now you see that it is working. So my backup is consistent. That's how you want to make sure that it is there. Another thing is you could do is like check for the commands before the installation. So for example, I could go to chapter 4 early before restoration. I showed you some of these commands like ps3, and this command was working and is still working. You can see that, and that is good because this one is under CGI bin Linux cmd.cgi. So right here, and there's a file called Linux cmd.cgi, and then you can see that Linux cmd.cgi, and that file is doing all the work that is happening here with all those arguments that I'm passing it. I wrote all of that one in Python or Perl long time ago, or Shell or Bash or JavaScript or something, cascaded the style sheet on this browser page or these tables. I did it in Bash, and then the actual programs are Python, or earlier was Perl. But you're welcome to learn from them and enjoy it and do it. And then I will do the same thing with HTML part. So if there was any thing that was changed for the HTML, I want to do that one as well. So let me just say upload the HTML is going to take a longer time, and so rather than just doing the HTML next, because it's a lot of files, I'm going to do the program files. So program files. And then instead of CGI bin, let's do programs, and then dash git, and that directory of programs, I mistyped it. Programs. Okay, so the thing is not moving that fast as I want it, and then I will just have to be patient with it. This is Windows, and then so I'm going to say programs, and then just type in my password. This time I typed the password the first time correctly. So notice the program files is also fast enough to do it. And then so it is 44%, 49%. It will eventually will go to 100%, and then the next one is the files that I want to do is HTML ones. So the directory *11*, and that was etc good CGI. That one I also could back store, and then Control C here is copy, and then just say HTML good.tar.ganzip file, and then .tar.ganzip, and then just cut and paste this part. Oh, .tar dot p ganzip, tar ganzip file, and then you paste this one here, saying that write it the same way. So this one is gonna take a little bit, and I'll do that one afterward. But let me just do the program files. And so since the program files is on the temp also, so I'm gonna say home wahid and cd to temp and ls minus l. Now the program files tar z pvf programs files, that one is gonna say, oh, it is under the home slash this. So if I go to the root, that is good enough to restore that file, meaning that under the cd2 slash, this is root is here, since home is there, you can see here. So all I have to do is now say that file, whatever it is, and instead of that, I could say ZPVF, I'm going to say tar and ZXVF verbose file, and then I want to say from this one, since I'm on the root partition, I want to just do it from home wahid temp, and that is going to extract it onto wahid directory, and all the files are going to be there. And the next thing is you come back here on this one. So this is how easy it is if you are having a web server to maintain it and to do it. And then after, when you're done with this latest patch, then you can run your backup script to do that one. Because this is directory is a little bit for a while. I'm going to wait till I'll have posted all of them. Then I'll show you right here. When this one is done, I also can open another shell here and show you my backup script that I will run next to just back up my system. So here I have it, and then under home wahid programs, and then let's see shells, and then var HTML, and then say new backup. I think I call it, yeah. So a new underscore backup backup.sh is the one that I'm running to back up my system. So, and this is the script that I wrote for that purpose. And basically I'm doing a /doc here. This is the description, and then here just there. But this is like all bash scripting. You can see env bash scripting. So you're learning a lot on this class, whether you're learning Python or bash or anything. And then I mentioned Python, you can just practice Python and GCC and other things also there. So, and those are the things that you have here. Like, while I mentioned the Python, let me just show you on this system. So like we did this one on Fedora. Let's see, cat minus n etc os-release. And then this one, remember we installed GCC. So GCC dash version is installed. You can write C code. And then on my other video, I mentioned that one and I explain it like hello world or something. I can always do that one for you on a lot of the videos, but let's just show you a little bit of Python. So on Python, if I say Python, let's look at G++ dash version, and then Python and dash version. So you can see Python 3 is installed maybe, but Python is not. So Python 3.12 is there, and there's no alias. So you could say alias Python is equal Python 3, and now and the other one that was not working earlier, it will work, and because and both of them are pointing to Python 3. So if I just want to get into Python, I could just say Python here, and that would take me there. And then if I just want to say quit here, say get me to Python 3, it's there. So quit here or exit, you can also exit out of this one with Python this way, and you can just say pep a list, and then pep is not installed. Maybe you could say since this is package managers for Fedora as DNF, you say DNF install pep, and then now Python 3-pep gets installed. If you were on the system like Fedora, or I mean Ubuntu, you have to say pep install Python 3-pep. And here it already found it. So now if I just go up arrow, the earlier command, say pep list, and this command should work where I did pep list. And right here, that's work because which pep is now installed. So now notice by default DNF is there, one of the package, dbus, Python, distro, libcomp, and then libcomp, DNF, and there's a number of them, pep itself, and maybe request is not there, so you could say DNF install, not DNF, in this case, pep install requests. By default, in some system comes, and some system you have to install it, pep install. So like, for example, if I say pep list and then do a grep -i, since I did the request, I'm going to say egrep -i and then say request and then numpy and also pandas. So those three packages, I want to see which one are installed. The request is the only one that I installed, right? Requests with S, right? So they still match it, and then now I'm going to do pep install pandas. And then now if I just check it out, the same command after pandas is installed. Pandas is a little bit big, so this taking a little bit longer than what requested, and now you can see pandas already met the requirement of numpy. But I could have also said pep install numpy if the numpy was not installed. So the numpy, this grep command, I just missed the Y here, and then but the grep command is going to search any part of subset of a string inside that output. And so the argument of this command becomes the input to this command, which means like if I say pep list, I get a bigger list. But if I say pep list and then say look for those ones, I could see that those packages are there. So if I get into Python, I say Python and then say import numpy as np, and then dir of np. Now np is installed and all the functions that are there is there. So import OS and then os.system and then clear my screen here. So I could see that one now by doing import numpy as np, and then you don't have to do a dir to see all those objects. So let's say I'm going to create an array and say array of np.array, and then I could say a list of to be an argument to it, like for example x for x and a range of let's say 100, and then if x mod 2, let's get the numbers smaller, 10, and then is equal 0. That is saying that the remainder, if it is divisible by 10, then just do that one. So 0, 10, 20, and so on, up to 90 will just be on my list. So then I just close the array, and now let's see what is there for x and range. X for x, I missed for x is equal, and then for x n, that's what I meant to type in. So now, oh, since it's already an assignment here, all I have to say for x and, let me just do a list first here. X is equal, and then you say x for x in range of 100, if x module 10 is equal 0. So this is just going to create x is equal for x is, oh, 4 is, I messed up type 4. I took that from. And then let's see what is going on here. OS.system, I want to just clear it and correct it. I'm typing fast and I just don't pay attention. X is equal for x and, okay. So this x is not needed, the first one. Say x is equal for x in range of that one, that would work. What is happening here? For x in range of this one, x. Oh, this one is not needed. Typing mistake after mistake. Let me see what I have done it. X is equal a list comprehension. X in range of 100. Do this one. I'm going to do a very, very short one rather than this one and see what's going on. There's something on the list comprehension and that is not coming. Yeah, I think I figured it out. I should have done right here. X is equal, and then for x and range of 100 to, and yeah, why I have this, I don't need this parentheses. It's a leftover from previous one, but it still did not work. So it says for statement. Okay, so the for statement is not recognized. I'm gonna say x for x and range, and then x is the statement for x and range. That would work. So I was missing a x here, x for x and range of this. So now x is all those numbers, right? And then if I just translate that to a numpy, all I have to do is just say same thing here on this statement, and put this list into a numpy. So I could say, just say, create a variable x already there. Let's create a variable a and say numpy.array, and then just put this function, array function, and then the list as an argument. So since I defined x as a list comprehension of those numbers, then you can see that a is there now, the same way that x was there, right? But type of x is just an list, and type of a is a numpy array. A dot shape is telling you that it's a one-dimensional array of 10 elements, right? So now if I say 8 times 10, it multiply by 10 that number. A plus 10 is going to vectorize each element, vectorization by elements, right? 8 minus 10 is going to do that one. However, if I want to do x plus a plus 10, it's not going to do it because one is integer, one is less there. In order for me to add up the number like that, I have to use a for statement, which is written inside numpy for you already. So I have to say for item in x, print item plus 10. That would add up each element, and it will show you that. Similarly, if you want to do multiplication, but multiplication of this one for item this, if you just do multiplication, it will do multiplication by element. So element, that's like numpy. However, if you're doing x is this and you say x times 10, it is going to do the same less 10 times. You see that? If you do x times 2, it will do the same less twice. So understand the concept of less have a lot of overhead than other ones. NumPy is much faster, much written in C, and it's more optimized to just take data type that are the same, and then list could take multiple data types on within a list. So I could just add an element to the list and just increment something, and so you could see type of X is a list, and then a dir of X. Notice that you have a lot of function or method that are available for you here that you can run. Like for example, copy it, append to it, append meaning add to it. At the end of it, get it by extend the list to another list and so on. So you can just do that kind of concept. But with vectorization, we did that one. So now if I just want to say, well, X is there, can I just create an element of this rather than writing that long syntax of numpy the way we did it here, rather than that one? Yeah, you could just pass on X here. Since X is a list already, you just say, I don't want to just generate a list. Again, writing it here, you could just say that. So A is now that. And if you just even want to do multiplication times 10 here, you could do that one, and A is there. You could see that it is multiplied that one by that. But notice that this is not vectorization. You just did the same less 10 times, and then it just generated the same numbers 10 times. If you want to do it actually like what you want to do this one is say generated this one, now 8 times 10 would just be multiplied by 10 each of the element. So that's the difference. So please understand that one. Now if I say import pandas as PD, and then sorry, pandas, I mistyped it, pandas. And then now dir of PD, you see all the functions that are available for pandas. And then obviously with pandas, you have to create elements and create dictionaries and create data frame and subset. So the X's that is there, now we could use a series out of that one. So I could say series 1 is equal, let's say, I could say PD dot series, and then just give the pass the argument of X. And then now type of S1, it says there's a pandas series. So S1 now is that series, which is all the elements are available for you. And then you could also create a data frame out of like some elements. So if you just have a dictionary, for example, you could store a dictionary to just have name and values and then store it there. And then you could have a file to just read a file from a data dictionary and everything else. So let's just see if I could do outside of Python, and I could say os.system and then look at my directory that I'm there. Since I'm on this directory of main one, that's the desktop. So I'm going to cd. Let's see if I could just why don't I just show you on another thing, because I have to download the files. Since I've already downloaded the file, I'm going to just show you on the page what I'm going to show you here. It's important for you to understand the concept, and then you can do it always on the fly. So let's say go to google.com and then type in Stack Overflow annual developer survey, right? Stack Overflow is very good for all these surveys. and then you can see that the page has all these Stack Overflow annual survey. I've already downloaded this one, 2024 and 2023. So I'm going to go to my machine here. Let me just see where it is. First of all, I'm gonna just open a command prompt here and then go to my directory where I normally put it under demo, programs, and Python, and then data. So these are the directories, and then you can see CD to 2024, and these are the files, right? So if I just have some CSV file, directory store.csv, comma separated values. That's what the CSV is stand for. They're similar to Excel, but they're actually comma separated. So if I say more on that file for public results.csv, you can see they're all comma separated fields. All the information are there. So in order for me to do this one on this other machine that I just showed you, was it on this one? Let me just see which one it was. I think it was on this one. Yeah. So on this one, I'm gonna close this one. The backup is done. I will just leave it on the back here and then on this other screen. Yeah. So this is the Python, the one that I was getting into it. I'm gonna say quit out of this and then CD here. Let's get to home Wahid here, and then make a directory called programs. And so make directory clear screen, and then I say exit out of this one. I don't need root access there, so I'm going to say make dir programs and then Python. And so in order for me to create that directory in the subdirectory, I have to do -p. And now cd to programs and then Python, and then this one is empty currently. There's no file in it, and this -l you can see is 0 byte. But IPA, and it's this IP address. So I'm gonna try to copy on those CSV file here. In order for me to do that one, I have to say to make sure that SSH is running here. ES minus EF grep minus I SSH. SSH is not running. So apt, not apt, DNF, and then sudo install SSH first to make sure SSH gets installed. On sudo DNF, I missed the DNF and then install that one. So on that, look for SSH. I'm gonna do SSHD, is the daemon, it's not there. So most likely it's open SSH. So let's look at it to see is what DNF finds it. DNF list, grep minus I, open SSH. Open dash SSH, maybe dash server or something. We will look at it. So let's look at grep SSH to see how many are there. There's a lot of them, but maybe open SSH. Yeah. So there's open SSH, but open SSH server maybe. Yeah, open SSH is having both. So you could say clear screen sudo DNF install open SSH. That will install the SSH already installed. So which SSHD it is already available. Systemctl enable SSHD. Now it is enabled service SSHD start. And it's there redirecting it, ES minus EF, grep minus SSHD. It is not there. So I'm gonna do sudo user bin SSHD. So let's see what systemctl start SSH. It is not showing SSH. Maybe it is service enable SSH. Okay, service SSH enable. Sorry, the argument is passed on, and then the start is there. Start. So now none of them is showing here. So I'm gonna go to left system D system and then see if there's anything with SSH. Yeah, SSH dash SSD dash. See, the name is very weird. It's SSD at services, the one that we want to do. So service SSH D at dot service start. It is not doing it. So I'm gonna say system. Oh, sudo DNF, not DNF, sudo systemctl enable this service first, SSHD service. And then once it is enabled, let's see what is saying. Must be enabled with the same instance specified. And then we are going to say service, this one start, to see if it started the service there now. Alrighty, so something is off here. PS minus EF. So I'm here. Let me become root first. I don't want to do sudo all the time. So now I'm there and let system D system clear screen ls minus LD store SSH. So what is the one browser? Move it out. So SSHD is one SSH.socket and then SSHD.service. This is the service, but it is not getting enabled. Systemctl enable SSHD, and that enabled it. But then let's see if it service SSD is start. Come on, Fedora. Host name, what is it? In fact, minus NEPC OS dash release. It's Fedora. So we did enable it, and then let's see if we can start it here with the start command now. It says that the program has to be terminated. So that's WSL biggest problem. And then Linus Torvalds say something bad about how bad it is WSL, but let's see if we can make it better. And that's a challenge. Someday it's going to be better, like nothing from fresh could always be better. So let's make it up. We can look at it. So SSH PS minus EF direct minus I SSH, nothing is running. And then we say, and these are the processes, keygen, systems, ETL, path, SSHD. Okay, those commands are not showing up either here, so none of them are showing. So service enable SSHD rather than enable. Okay, and you have to say the service SSH enable is not there. I'm going to say a restart. It does say redirecting it to sssd.service, but why is it not running? So somehow it's not running. Which sssd? I'm going to just say user is Ben sssd start. Extra argument start. So it doesn't take any argument and then exiting. No hot host key available. Ampersand exiting. etc and net.d, and it's not there, etc clear screen, etc ls minus ld ssh. Okay. There's SSH, but this is just saying that sssd.conf underscore conf and ssh underscore config for client and the server is there. That is not going to allow us to SSH. IPA clear screen, IPA show Ethernet 0. Now we're gonna try to ping, not ping, SSH minus L Wahid, Wahid, and then this IP address. It's going to say that the switch is not running because we're not listening to it. On port 22, it's a connection refused. Why is it refused? And then let's start minus AN. Yeah, 22 is not listening. And we don't have a firewall yet. And so let's go IP tables dash L. You can see that it's not even installed. Sorry, IP tables dash uppercase L, and it is up and running. So I'm gonna say IP tables dash tables dash stop. So dash I haven't done the IP tables for so long. The IP tables are pen delete flash and then flash 0. Yeah. So this etc system config and then IP tables are there. No, IP tables. No. So find dot minus name IP tables. Alrighty, so I'm gonna say it is not theirs. Let's see if this one system CGL status IP tables, it is not running data service IP tables stop and then start system CTL enable IP tables. Okay, I'm gonna just say system CTL disable IP tables. We're not gonna run it. Close theme system CTL disable IP tables. And then there's a lot of garbage. You just have to give a little bit meaningful information if your system is that bad. So what I do on the IP tables is not there. And the firewall D is, system D is not running, so firewall D would not be the one. IP table is for a net and service D, but ES minus here, red minus I IP tables. And then IP tables dash L listed, man IP tables, and then IP tables dash T, and then IP tables dash N dash K. All of these options, there's so many of them. Wow, what happened to my screen? And just disappeared all of a sudden. Well, that IP configuration, I'll just show you on the PowerShell on this one, and then you can always learn it on another session. So let's just do it on this one for the Python part, and then we end up. finishing this video, and then when I get this SSH working on Fedora and on system they work on it, then I'll show you on Fedora. But let's just open a terminal here. Command prompt, you can just say command, and then I'm just going to maximize this window and go to my directory that I had the CSV file. So clear screen and cd to demo/programs/python/data. This directory store.csv is there, and directory store.comma separated values. Why is not there? This one doesn't have it, anything. Did I delete it? Directory demo program files Python and data. Maybe I don't have it here. Yeah, I do. Actually, I have to go to 2024 directory. That's what those files are. Clear screen. So I could even start Jupyter Notebook or just do it on the graphical interface. I mean, command lines here. Let me do the command lines because everybody could do it on Jupyter Lab or this. So let's just do it from memory. So let's do this. Directory store.csv, and now directory the clear screen, directory store.comma separated values. So those two files are there. Let's open this one that is larger ones, right? You can see the size is really big. So I'm gonna say I'll go to Python first, and then say import OS, and then say os.system. Clear my screen first so you can see everything clean here. os.system, and then the command is clear screen, and then I'm going to import pandas here. So import pandas as PD. And then since pandas was done on this OS, I have it. And then if you just want to verify that, when you since I import, you could say import OS and then say os.system, and then say run the pep list, and then grep -i pandas, and then you can see that pandas was installed on the system. Not grep, actually, this is Windows, so find this command, and then instead of slash that I, you do /i because that's a Windows command. And then you see the pandas version, pipe broken pipe. So pep system pandas pep -/i. Let's do that list itself, and then somehow the pipe is not coming up here. So you can see here, and then pandas is there in the list somewhere in there. Python, and then wow, there's a lot on this package that I have done. Somewhere there is pandas. Because when you do, yeah, pandas, I saw that somewhere here. So if you see it, that's good enough, because I said import pandas as a PD, and then import a pandas as PD, and then Duro PD, it knows that that package is available here. So what am I going to do here? Say let's do os.system, and then clear my screen, and then at this time I'm going to say read that file. So how I'm going to read that survey.this, and so os.system, and then the file name was dir, and just to see the survey stuff, I'm going to say Stack Overflow or something. So store and the C is the thing, but let's just run this one on the system, and you know the name of the system file is right here, survey. So I'm going to say PD. Actually, data frame is equal panda PD dot read Excel. Instead of read Excel, in this case, read CSV. So this there's a lot of them. Read Excel, read HTML, read CSV, read SQL, and then connect to the database. There's a lot of things you could do with pandas. I'm going to just open this file, and then that file is already there. So now I have pointed to that one. Type of DF is a panda data frame. You can see earlier I showed you the series. Now I'm showing you a data frame. A data frame is nothing but a table, which is a row in columns there. So df.columns is all the columns that are on that data frame. So if I say data frame dot shape, it shows how many rows and how many columns are there. So there's 114 columns in 100. If you want to see the content of any of them, you could also do df.info, and it will give you information about that data frame. And you can also just type in df to see all of the output here. But notice that there's 65,435. And if you want to see the last tail minus just the last three of them, let's say, you could do that last three, or just head of three, the first three, 0 through 2. The array always start in Python as 0, in opposed to like R language where it started 1. All other programming, C, C++, everything that I work except R language, the array start with 0. So when you do head 3, and that means there. If you want to see read 5 first row, you do that one. If you want to see the last 5 row, you can do that one, right? So df itself, it gives you everything. And notice these dot meaning that there's a lot between 4 and then there's one. They don't want to just give you a list, but you can just get however number of them you want. So if you want to say tail 100, then you get the last 100 of them. And then from there, you can just say at first 5 of them, you could just get that one. So Python is object-oriented programming. So you could say the module or the data frame in this case, data frame dot method name dot operator is the method name, and this one is tail, and then another operator head. So that if you just say, give me and the type of this one, say what is this one, you can see it is a string output, right? So you could see it's a data frame, but the type of it is giving you this output is a data frame. That means that if you say, give me the shape of that one, it is not going to give you this because it's a property object at this address. So you have to just say, get rid of the type here, and then give me the shape of it. And it says 5 rows and 114 columns. So now if I say, well, that's good, now df dot age, for example, is one of the field there. So remember df dot columns, all of the information is saying that these are the fields. So you can look up the field that you want, df.age, and then let's say if you want to just say, give me all the df.age for all of them, look at the age that are showing here. So you could also do head on those ones, head, and then say the first 10 elements, and then show me those ones. And then df.columns could also help you further. So you could say, let me get df of age like this also. This is a list of that element. But notice that job sat, whatever that attribute is, on the PDF file, they explain it, so you can just download the PDF and see those fields and definition of them. So now I did this one and it did not work. Why did it not work? Because I said this is a list, but then I just did not declare it as a list. I just said give me that one as 1 dimension. Now I get it as 2 dimension, which is a row and columns. So these are the two columns, but look at inner bracket and outer bracket, right? So the inner bracket is defining those columns that I want to do it. So df dot columns, I could say, give me that, and then comma, maybe another column, say check. And the order that where you put it doesn't matter, you could do it. So here, if I just say, give me head of maybe 10 or maybe 5, whatever you want head of it, you could get that one and then say, read that information. At the same time, you can manipulate it by more values of differently. So like if I say df.look, and then I say, give me row, the first row, 0. That is the first element. It's like saying this one dot head, and then you can see 0 here. I'm sorry, I typed 9. So 0 and the first row. And then if you want to do like 1, it's going to give you the head of one row, right? Then you could also do df.describe to get more information here, and say describe this is like DES or describe command on the structure core language, or str on R language, or blends on R language with deploy package. So you could see a lot of these things that go back and forth between these things. Once you learn it on one, then you can do it on other ones. At this time, if I just want to get some of these columns, so say I say df.check, I could get df.check. You have to type in the case sensitivity matters, the name of the columns, or those columns you can see here and that are there. Df.check is uppercase and employment. So if you see, give me the employment, and that one, employment, was it there? Or let's see, employment, and that would then give you the information. Similarly, like this one, you could say df this, and then this, and then that would give you that column. Similarly with the attribute, the way you did the df dot operator. So if you look at the df dot ilook, which is integer look, versus a look that is a column wise on a string match, that you could say ilook, and you could say let's say we do an array of 0 colon to everything, and then 0 colon to everything, and then 1 just for the column. Get me the 1. Let's see if I'm started something, or I'm gonna try this, and then this would give me that one. So now I want to say, give me column 0 through 5. So that will give you those ones, and you can see I did 0 through everything. But if I want to read only the first 2 rows, then I say that show me those ones. And if I want to say show me column 0, 1, and 0 and 1, and then you would get those 2 columns. If you want to get column 3, you include it that way too. And then you can do a lot of other ones also with the location, df.look. So df.look is and not integer wise, and so you do column wise. So in this column wise, you could say, for example, check is 1 column, and then the other one is page, maybe. You could do that one. If this one does not return you, remember that this is a data frame, so you have to do row and columns. and then that also does not return. Let's see why. Df dot, oh, there's no dot here. And df, yeah, df dot, but there's a function. The method, you have to type it with parentheses on it, and then that would just go here. And this is an array. So I'm getting a location. So df dot look. Let me see if yeah, this is look is the function, and then so let's do this. Help df dot look, and then see the argument for the look. So the look is saying the look, and then this, and then the argument could be a column and there, or a number that is also a column there. This is a string basically. So df the look, and then some of the examples here, the data frame, the look is Viper, and we did that one with one. Let's see if it comes out. df dot look, and then the look, and then you say age. So this is all Python stuff. So somehow it is not coming out with the help df dot look, and it shows up Viper is oh, this is row number. Row number, df dot look has a row, comma, column numbers. So on the row, I'm typing Viper. In this example is Viper here. The index is site work, and then comma, that one. Let's see, there is a comma separated. So let's try this one with the df dot head. First, we get 5 columns, 5 rows, and then we say df dot look, and we say, okay, so the row comma value, row number is going to be 0, and then I want to get a list of them, 0 and then 1. So those 2 rows, and then the column wise is going to be age is good enough, one of them, just don't make it a list. So you can see that it is giving me the row 0 and 1. So if I wanted 0 column 5 of those ones, that 5 is not recognized here, I have to do something like this, 0 column 5, and that would give me 5 rows. But then age, if I wanted a second one, I cannot just say check here. If you do it like this, it's a string, it's going to error out. In order to correct this one, you have to define a list. That's why I say it's Python syntax. So this is a Python, now it works. So that's the difference between the def.look. It's the look has rows, comma, columns. That's how you just, if you want to do 0 to 5, you just do 0 to 5. If you want to do 100, let's say 100 to 105, yeah, you could just pick up those values. And then whatever output you're looking for, you will get depending on what you're searching for. So in df dot columns, and then one other commands like employment, for example, we could just add here, say, give me employment also. Employment, and then that is a list, so it will give you all 3. And it doesn't matter what you're looking for, it's always there. I hope you enjoyed this video and then you learned something from it. Sorry for some of the things that I was jumping back and forth, but that's part of learning IT stuff and learning programming, learning software engineering. You're going to have to just have different hats at different time. Whether you want to have a red hat or a blue hat or a green hat or black hat or white, no matter which hat you do, you're going to be awesome. That's all I care. If you learn, you're going to be awesome. You support other people. That's all matters. God bless you all. Take care, have fun, and enjoy your life on earth and help others. By helping others, you always inspire other people, and other people are gonna just follow you, and they are gonna help others. We have great community everywhere. Just try to be not selfish and try to help as much as possible, because we all have a limited time to live on earth. Without you accomplishing something and be proud of yourself on a daily basis and helping others and helping your family, life doesn't mean anything if we just are selfish. And I'm sure a lot of millions of people are like in that scenario, or billions of people. But those of us that are not selfless or unselfish, then just maybe they are in trouble at some point in life. God loves people that they do the right things on earth, and then when they pass away and they are not no longer with us, then they are given good names after them. Imagine all those hundreds of thousands of people that they have passed away. They all have good names or bad names based on their deeds and good behaviors. Humanity will not be lost forever. Humanity will always shine. Humanity is all on the side of humans. And we are all human. We have to follow humanity. Take care. Have fun. God bless you all. Bye bye.